1 slash 172 dot 19 dot
47
dot
232
slash
live
slash
tactical.
Yep. One thing.
Oh.
There you go.
There we go.
All right, thank you, Nathan.
Yep. One more thing, because you guys haven't dealt with the huddle camera. Gonna have to put this delay back on. Well, I'm sure you have because of winter.
Okay.
5. There we go. Okay, she is all yours.
Is there any before you go? Is there any audio mixer delay I need to worry about?
I just said that. That's what I was doing.
Yeah. Okay, but
So your delay is set. You're good to go. All of your ads they did yesterday, obviously, so you're good there. So.
All right. Thank you.
Yep, no problem, sir.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Nathan. Love you.
Well, you just talk to him through the board, you fancy guy. I kind of want to see. My legs are going to get tired after a while.
All right, what time is it? 5:06. Do you know how many ads we have to get through? How many minutes worth? We gotta get through 15 minutes worth of ads. Holy Toledo, son, you're killing me. We gotta stop selling. That's way too many. Well, you want to get this bad boy up and running. You've never heard me talk, but I can fill a couple minutes. Are you just running camera tonight? Oh, there he is. I was wondering if he was going to be here. Ooh. Yeah, you're not doing that. Yeah. Oh no. That's funny. You need to be on. You got it. You're figuring it out already. I'll just sit here and be quiet. Shut the Heath. God bless America. They'll let the announcer start talking for 2 minutes, and this is what happens. I blame you.
Yep. So you guys are good to go?
We are good to go, sir.
Okay. I'll take that flash drive back because I need that for the second game. I gotta go. I'll come back to that flash drive a little bit.
Just gotta find the right one, baby. Ooh, kill that. Oh, that was silly.
When it comes to Class A, the first ticket is on the line in an early head start game, if you will. Set to start at 5:30. Good evening and welcome to Live Ticket TV as we get you set for the SoDak 16 in Class A, as tonight's matchup is one of the main featured matchups and one that is sure to be a delight. It's the 8 seed Elk Point Jefferson Huskies coming in against the Waubay Summit Mustangs. Along with our producer, Ryan Sell, I'm Heath Nimke. As we mentioned, it doesn't get a whole lot better than this. It is that crazy time of the year, the mayhem of March, if you will, as teams try to punch their ticket on to the state tournament, which is coming up next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And speaking of the tournament, let's take a look at the SoDak 16 and how we've gotten to this point so far. For the Elk Point Jefferson Huskies coming in as the 8 seed, 16-5 overall, one of those premier teams, if you will, in Class A, coming from the toughest conference there is, the DAC 12. They needed a little bit of help getting into the spot that they did. They overall came in is that 3 spot within the region tournament, and they got a little bit of help in the very first round, if you will, as it was the biggest upset in Class A. Vermilion knocked off the 2 seed in Region 4A as Vermilion beat Lennox, which then led to Elk Point Jefferson and Vermilion meeting last Friday, and Elk Point Jefferson easily took care of business in that tournament, or I should say in that ball game, and was able to get through to the SoDak 16, where they were able to draw the 8 seed. On the opposite side, Waubay Summit was the number 1 team in Class A Region 1 as they played against Sisseton in the first round and got a dominating win, 56-20. After that, it was against Tispazina last Friday night, and they certainly had to go through the ringer, but were able to come out on top against Tispazina 44-36, which sets up this matchup here this evening. 2 opponents that really aren't familiar with each other. Now, Elk Point Jefferson plays, of course, a lot of the DAC 12 teams and a lot of the teams down just in southeast South Dakota. The same can be said about the Waubay Summit Mustangs, as they play a lot of teams up in the northeast region of the state, but a team that also plays against a few Class B opponents along the way, as they play, of course, that type of schedule, because the Mustangs, they were a team a year ago that were able to make it to the state tournament, but that was on the Class B side of things. They moved up to Class A, but still were able to flex their muscle as the Mustangs come in overall tonight 19-3. In fact, you look at just the 3 losses they've had this season, they have come against some of the top teams in Class B, and also they lost to Howard back on Saturday, February 11th. 67-52, but since that time, including the region playoffs, the Mustangs have won 5 straight and are looking to continue their march to see if they can't get into another state tournament, but this time on the Class A side instead of the Class B. Should be a lot of fun. As I mentioned, when it comes to Class A, this is the premier game as of right now because, well, a lot of all the other games that are set to schedule supposed to start at 7 o'clock, there has been one postponement of a game. St. Thomas More and McLaughlin won't be able to play tonight due to weather. Otherwise, all other games are set to tip at 7 o'clock this evening, except for the Mount Vernon Plankinton Pine Ridge game. That one is coming up at 6:30. As I mentioned, our producer is Ryan Sell. I'm Heath Nimke. It's time for our first time out. When we come back, we get you closer. Tip-off between EPJ and Waubay Summit. That's on the way next here on Live Ticket TV. Madison High School as we get you set for the SoDak 16. A chance to go to state is on the line. It's time to do battle between the Elk Point Jefferson Huskies and the Waubay Summit Mustangs as this one, the 8 and 9 seeds meeting here in Madison, South Dakota. Now a quick set, if you're unaware of how they kind of come up with the location of where we play at, they try to meet in the middle with the lower seed, 8 if you will, having a little bit of an advantage. Now the reason we're also playing at 5:30 is this isn't the only teams that are playing here tonight, as coming up later on at 7 o'clock this evening, or after this game I should say, we will have Sioux Falls Christian and Hanson coming up for you right here on Live Ticket TV. And speaking of that, let's take a look quickly at the SoDak 16 before we get to our national anthem and our starting 5. What we have coming up, teams trying to punch their tickets onto the state tournament tonight. Number 1, Dakota Valley takes on the 16 seed Miller. That is happening in Harrisburg, again coming up at 7 o'clock. Now, set for Thursday, coming up, number 2 seed St. Thomas More will be taking on number 15 McLaughlin. That could also be happening on Friday. All depends on the weather. Other matchups, number 3 Sioux Falls Christian takes on number 14 Hanson. Number 4 Sioux Valley takes on number 13 Groton Area. Number 5 Hamlin takes on number 12 Madison. Number 6 Winter takes on number 11 Hot Springs. 7 Mount Vernon Plankinton versus number 10 Pine Ridge. And as we just mentioned, number 8 Elk Point Jefferson versus number 9 Waubay Summit, in the only game on the Class A side that is happening here at 5:30. Well, it is time for our national anthem. When we come back, it's our starting 5 in the opening tip between the Mustangs and the Huskies. That is on the way next on Live Ticket TV.
In our Class A SoDak 16 boys basketball doubleheader.
Boom.
Tonight, the first contest.
Does it get much better than this? The mayhem of March. A chance to go to the state tournament. Welcome to the SoDak 16 Class A. It's 8 seed, trying to end over a decade drought of getting to a state tournament. Elk Point Jefferson Huskies taking on a team that was at the state tournament a year ago, but it was on the Class B side, the Waubay Summit Mustangs. Along with our producer, Ryan Sell, I'm Heath Nimke. Let's introduce our starting five for both the Waubay Summit Mustangs and the Elk Point Jefferson Huskies. Will begin with the visiting team, aka the 9 seed, the Waubay Summit Mustangs. It is a familiar starting five that they have now had a majority of their season. It does include number 1, Jackson Welber, the 5'9 junior guard. Number 2, Damon Opdale, the 6'1 senior guard. Number 3, Jared Prudy, the 6'1 junior forward. Number 13, Jonathan Johnston, the 6'3 senior forward. And number 14, Brady Lindholm, the 5'8 senior guard. Coach is Mark Amdahl, along with assistant coaches of Steve Aker and Dylan Jurgens. Again, the Mustangs come in 19-3 overall. And now let's meet our Elk Point Jefferson Huskies, 16-5 overall. Head coach is Jake Otkin, assistant coaches Zach Ronin, and also Adam Timmons. The starting five is also a very, very familiar starting five that they haven't rolled with all season long, but they do come in with some size. It includes 00, Chase Fornia, the 6'4 senior center. Number 2, Devin Schmitz, the 5'11 senior guard. Number 3, Garrett Merkley, the 5'11 junior guard, along with number 11, Jacob Scarman, the 6'1 senior guard, and number 44, Easton Kemp, the 6'5 senior forward. Jacob Scarman, along with Damon Opdale, will meet in the middle, as this is the first and only game that is happening in Class A, along with live ticket TV and Madison streaming. We're set and ready to go. The Mustangs in their all-white uniforms, the Mustangs in their all-black uniforms. The opening tap is won by the Mustangs, and we are underway, as it will be Damon who will slowly cross over the timeline. As he points out, setting up the offense just past 5:30 here on this Tuesday evening. 15 tickets in Class A will be punched into the state tournament, or at least 7, I should say, and it's an open 3, and this one is good right away for Damien, as he had a chance along the wing and took it immediately. Schmitz bounce pass inside to Chase Fornia, out to Merkley. He'll shoot the 3. The Elk Point Jefferson Huskies answer right back. Now, this is a Huskies team that I got to watch on Friday. For them to get to this SoDak 16, they opened up that first quarter 6 of 6 from beyond the 3-point line against the Vermilion Tanagers on Friday. They can really shoot it from downtown. They work it inside of Damien. He drives. There's maybe some contact made with Kemp, who was playing the tough defense. Nothing called, and we come quickly the opposite way. Merkley works the top to Kemp as he tries to spin his way in. The big man goes up off the glass and good for 2. Easton Kemp wasn't going to be denied, and it's a quick 5-0 run, 2-point lead, if you will, for the Elk Point Jefferson Huskies. 6:40 first quarter. Damien going to drive again. This time he holds and hesitates for a moment, and a whistle is called. They're going to give it to not who I thought it was going to be. They're going to call Jacob Scarman, as he was the 3rd defender in there, but they're going to call him on a reach-in, picking up his first personal. It is a shooting foul, so the first free throw is up and good. 5-4, 6:38, first quarter. Second free throw. Toeing the line, up, and this one is going to be off the mark. Elk Point Jefferson Huskies with a 1-point lead as they have it in the front court. They work it over to the near side. The drive. Jacob, no space to work for. Out to Chase Fornia. Work it around over now to Devin Schmitz. Schmitz is going to get a screen. Keeps his dribble alive. Tries to force a pass. It was deflected. Merkley comes up with the loose basketball. Pump fake one way. Devin still with 7 seconds. Now to Merkley. Merkley, the drive down to the block. The little floater was deflected as it went up. And the defense by the Mustangs as they quickly press the opposite way now with Jackson. Jackson, the left-handed drive, goes up strong and is able to get it over Schmitz. And just like that, the Mustangs, who can explode offensively, take back a lead by one now, 6-5, 5:43 first quarter. If you're not buckled up, certainly do so. This is 8-9 seed. This is as close as they get inside to Kemp. And Easton Kemp uses the right hand this time. 4 points for him already in this first quarter, 7-6, 5:27 first quarter. Along the wing, Mustangs, the drive with Damian. Space is cut off, but he's going to attack once again as some defense was given up, and he says, thank you very much. 6 points already for Damian here in the ball game for the Mustangs. They take back a 1-point lead. Schmitz drives, almost lost it in his back pocket, trying to get it back, and now a reach-in foul as trying to tie it up that time was Brady Lindholm, but made contact with the arm, and the official says we're going to call the foul instead of tying it up. Now, Chase Fournier will come out, and coming into the ball game will be Evan, the junior forward. So after the foul, inbound straight to Evan. Fake the handoff to Schmitz. Evan will just take the far jumper, rattles in and out. Rebounded by the Mustangs as they bring it across the Bulldog logo. The drive, step by the defender. Shot was deflected away there by Jacob Scarman as it was floating up. Speaking of Jacob, he has it quickly, drives the opposite way, using the speed, and finishes it off with the sweet two right fingers. 9-8, 4:35 first quarter. We've had a couple whistles, but not a whole lot. This has been a quick moving one, and now a quick turnover for the Mustangs as they try to work it to the near side. Now Mustangs have yet to dip into their bench. Coach Otkin has already used 2 of his substitutions. Of course, it doesn't really matter. You're allowed as many as you want. And it will be brother for brother as Alex will come into the ball game. Alex Scarman for the Huskies. 9-8, 4:25 first quarter. Speaking of Alex, he has it. Fournier, they want to go down to Easton Kemp. The big man rumbling inside. Misses. Trying to get back his own rebound. Oh, my goodness. They got no answer for the big man inside. He missed. It was just kind of ping-ponging around up in there. And he just kept battling tough between the trees. And finally, the Mustangs commit a foul. This will be against Jackson, picking up his first personal, the second team foul. Non-shooting foul. So just a simple inbound for the Huskies. Have it with Merkley, who hit the opening 3. They're trying to go underneath. Ball knocked out of bounds. I believe it was blackout here for the Mustangs. A few purple mixed in. Student section all black. Huskies are kind of just a blue and white mixture. The student section, though, in all white. Fournier had his pocket picked as he was in the lane. And a turnover, so both teams answer with turnovers. And it remains a 1-point lead for EPJ. The left-handed dribble in between the legs. Attacking is Jackson off the glass. He gets it to go. He has 4 points. So Jackson and Damian have combined for all 10. And it's back to a 1-point lead now for the Mustangs. Both teams just trying to grab momentum here and haven't been able to do so. Bounce pass inside. Fournier off the glass and good. First bench points for either team. Evan, his first points the ball game. 11-10. 3:27 first quarter, and back and forth it goes. It's never been bigger than a 3-point lead for the Mustangs when they opened up with a 3-pointer. Never bigger than a 2-point lead for the Huskies when they answer back with their own 5-0 run. Now a deep 3. Oh, cash her in. Jonathan Johnston, you betcha. With a defender, hand in the face, he said no problem. Takes it and makes it. Bounce pass inside, lost possession, and now quickly the Mustangs one-on-one. But Lindholm won't attack as he peels back out and gets it over to Damian. Damian, the right-handed dribble, now switches it to his left. Last second, no-look bounce pass. Gets it down to Jared Prudy. And Jared has his first 2 points. 4 of the 5 starters have scored for the Mustangs, and they take their biggest lead, 15-11. Schmitz, the hop inside, kick back out to Merkley. Merkley will drive, He puts up a pass to Scarman, who got knocked over, and Easton kept trying to help out, and they're going to let this play out. They don't call a jump ball. My goodness. Usually you would see that call a jump ball. It plays out. Evan Fournier goes up, and he hits his shot. There were bodies on the hardwood. Guys were jostling for the pumpkin. The officials saw that the ball was still moving around. Elk Point Jefferson eventually came away with it and are able to score. Everyone takes a deep breath here for a moment. 17 seconds on the shot clock. As now Damien will attack over to the corner. He'll shoot the three. Oh boy! He can't be stopped. 9 points for him in this first quarter. 18-13. 100 seconds remaining in this first quarter. We knew Waubay Summit could put up points, and they could put up a lot. And they have had no hesitation on shooting. Merkley, double team, kick back out, three-pointer. This one, depth perception a little off that time for Alex Scarman, as that one skipped right over the iron. 5-point lead for the Mustangs. Damien pump fakes. Now we'll step back. We'll drive in again. Baseline, trying to get some contact, and he leaned into it against Evan and gets it. And just for heck purposes, Brady Lindholm put up the three-pointer and knocked it down. Of course, doesn't count. By the way, just a common foul on Evan, so he'll pick up his first personal. The second team foul. Both teams have been whistled for 2 team fouls and a couple substitutions, as Prudy and Lindholm will come out. Checking the ball game, Nealon will come in. I missed the other one. Also checking the ball game, that was Rumpsau, who will come in. And quickly inside, and a man right off the bench is able to score. I should specify Nealon, who gets his first 2 points of the ball game. And quickly answered right back by Evan. He's got 6 off the bench. 20-15. It's back and forth in this first quarter. I guess if you were looking for defense here in Class A, game number 1 of 7 tonight, we really haven't seen a whole lot of defense, more just offense. Nothing wrong with that. Another deep three. Oh my goodness. He can't miss. Jonathan Johnston, his second three from deep. He's got 6. It's an 8-point lead now for the Mustangs. Over to Evan. He'll take it straight away off the heel of the iron. Rebounded by the Mustangs. They can slow it down and hold for the last second shot, up by 8. Damien will speed up quickly to get across the timeline and now just stand at the Madison Bulldog logo, tapping his head, directing traffic. He's got 9. Will he take the last second shot? 4 seconds, putting on the skill, trying to get by the defender, fade away off the heel of the iron. Offensive rebound, but it's not going to be back up in time. A high-octane first quarter comes to an end as the Waubay Summit Mustang fans rise to their feet. They're up by 8, 23-15, as we head to quarter number 2. That comes up here in just a moment on Live Ticket TV and Madison Streaming. Back into action here as Garrett Merkley takes a quick three and knocks it down. Had a quick change to start the second quarter, and Garrett Merkley gets it started off in the right way. His second three of the ball game. He has 6 points for the Elk Point Jefferson Huskies, who trailed by 8 coming into this quarter. Now make it 5, 23-18. Along with our producer, Mr. Sell, I'm Heath Nimke. It's great to be along with you on Live Ticket TV. This has been an exciting quarter number one, and I feel like we're going to see a lot of this continuing on throughout the ball game. Damian going to attack. Now step back, shoots the three. This is off the heel, but it's an offensive rebound. Damian gets it right back. Now we'll get it over three-pointer. This one, the first one, it missed for Jonathan Johnston, who has 6 points, all coming from downtown. Both teams were able to really light it up from beyond the arc in that first quarter. Now, for the Elk Point Jefferson Huskies, they can do kind of everything. Three-pointer, this one missed. They can go inside with the size that they have, or they can step back and shoot the three. Right now, the Waubay Summit Mustangs are trying to answer back a little bit with their own size as they keep a couple guys off the bench that are right now starting in the second quarter. It's Jackson as he tries to drive in. A whistle is called as he goes and puts up the shot. They're going to call a foul on Chase, picking up his first personal, the third team foul. They do say, though, it's before Jackson ever put up the shot. So it'll be a simple inbound. Again, not a whole lot of whistles either. These officials have really let this one play out. I'm not saying that it's been physical contact-wise, but maybe some jump balls should have been called. They said, just sort it out yourselves, gentlemen. Damian has it using the right-handed dribble, switches it to his left, and now we'll go from left to right, directing traffic using the left hand. He's going to get all by himself along the free throw line extended. Oh, dribble it off his legs, able to somehow retrieve. He's going to continue to back out. Now kick it over. They work it to the opposite side, trying to drive inside. EPJ given no room. 10 seconds on the shot clock as the Mustangs have to reset offensively. Damian, free throw line jumper off the mark. Fight for the rebound, and bodies hit the deck. Do we hear a whistle for a foul? We did. It will be a foul on Damian, picking up his first personal in 13. And when I say, did we hear a whistle, I didn't actually mean that because of how loud it is in here. Now, looking kind of when it comes to fan-wise, Waubay Summit does outnumber the Elk Point Jefferson Mustangs. Garrett Merkley was going to make a last-second pass as he was in the air, going to put up his shot, but decided to go over to the left with it. The Mustangs still control offensively. Merkley drives in, now kicks over Schmitz, wide open corner three, and we're going to have two different whistles, both on the same call. Now, this was not on the shot necessarily, but going to be jockeying underneath the hoop. Chase Fournier is going to pick up the foul. So put that into perspective, Schmitz missed the three, but if he would have made that, they would have wiped that off the board because of the pushing and shoving underneath. Chase is going to have to check out as he's already picked up now his second personal of this quarter. That's what he's got for the ball game as well. 14 fouls on the Huskies, 3 on the Mustangs, 23-18, 5:18 second quarter. At the top of the key, they switch it to the far side. Back to the top, Damian pump fakes. Now we'll scoot over, three-pointer off the mark. Rebounded by Schmitz. Still the backcourt to Kemp. Back up to Schmitz. Schmitz is going to use some speed to Merkley inside to Evan. He goes up strong. Used both hands and simply slapped it off the glass. He's got 8 off the bench. And a timeout as some Mustang fans rise to their feet to cheer on. EPJ rises to their feet, 23-20. We're back in 30 seconds here on Live Ticket TV. It's a quick 5-0 run. I guess in 3 minutes of playing time, maybe not a quick 5-0 run. How about to start the second quarter? That's what the Huskies have done. And they've drawn it within 3. And now a bad pass as they try to get it over to Damian will go out of bounds. And the Mustangs maybe catch a lucky break there as they try to force the pass along the far side. Again, will go out of bounds. And we'll see another substitution as checking back in will be the starter, Brady Lindholm, and coming out of the ball game will be the sophomore Nealon. Kind of giving up some size, though, with him coming, of course, off the bench, but coming out of the game here at the moment. It's controlled, near side, back to the top they go. Mustangs drive. The floater is going to be left short. Battle for the rebound. Getting back his own rebound that time is Johnson, but trying to get it back completely, but could never corral it in underneath the hoop. And it's stolen away by the Elk Point Jefferson Huskies. Quick three. This one rattles in and out that time for Jacob Scarman. 23-20. Waubay Summit. This has probably been their Achilles heel, if you will. When they've lost their 3 games so far this season, is their consistency in scoring. We saw this in their loss against Howard, where they came out for 22 points that first quarter and then struggled to score from there. Now a deep three. This one is off the mark, and it's going to be rebounded by Easton Kemp. And I'm talking about the Mustangs putting up 23 points in quarter number 1, but now I've gone halfway through the second quarter without scoring. Trying to go inside, loose basketball. Evan looks like he might have taken a shot there in the face as they tried to get the orange back. The Mustangs eventually come away with it. Mustangs fans just looking for a little bit of offense right now, just to see one go through the rim. This one, Jackson trying to direct traffic himself. Get it down low. Now at the block, trying to back his way in a little bit. There is Johnston. Lost it for a moment. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Damian going to have to do it himself. Fakes one way, kicks out, three-pointer. This one is off the mark now for Jonathan Johnston. And quickly the Huskies throw it up into the front court. Alex Scarman back out to Evan. Evan at the free throw line, jumper, oof. He definitely thought he had a little bit better hop that time. He just threw that one into the nylon and not the correct way. And this will be a turnover. A quick substitution and that's being said, Elk Point Jefferson put up 15 points in quarter number 1. They've only put up 5 points themselves here in the second, but again, have outscored Waubay Summit 5-0 here in this second quarter. And you can't necessarily say defense, just we've seen missed shots. It's been a very quick tempo second quarter. 2:42. Directing traffic once again. Damian, the general of this offense. He works it over to Jackson. Jackson's going to drive down to the block on the far side underneath. No look pass as they get it over to Lindholm. Switch it back to the far wing. Jackson once again dribbling between the legs. Free throw line. Jumper. This one off the mark. Ball's being tipped in the air. Rebounded by the Huskies. Oh, what a great steal. Off the glass, but too strong. Damian gets it back underneath, off the glass, and it's Nealon. But it all starts with Damian. Easton Kemp made a pass to go over the timeline, and Damian reached up to heaven to come away with it, and is able to eventually get the Nealon off the glass to go for 2. It's also the first points for the Mustangs here in this second quarter, 25-20. And we'll see if that maybe doesn't open up the scoring a little bit. Now again, no games currently going on in Class A. In Class B for the SoDak 16, there are 2 games currently going on. DeSmit leads over Crazy Horse 27-18, and also Harding County leads over Castlewood 20-15 as they start the second quarter there. Other games coming up later on this evening. A majority of them starting at 7 o'clock, including we have another game coming up, including I see already some Sioux Falls Christian fans already in attendance. Hanson Beavers, Sioux Falls Christian Chargers coming up after this game. Of course, you can catch that right here on Live Ticket TV. Quick pass and a steal away as it's Jackson, lays off for Damian. He misses, and Damian right now just can't get over this hump. He's still at 9 points. Merkley drives in, charge, no, foul called. 2 free throws upcoming from Merkley. Brady Lindholm charged with the personal foul, his second for a team foul. And the Bluebirds come out Mustang fans right below us, they don't like the call. Merkley will be shooting free throws. First one is up and good, as Garrett Merkley has 7 points. Again, for Elk Point Jefferson, it's been over a decade since they were last in the state tournament. The Waubay Mustangs, it was just last year, but on the Class B side of things, it wasn't in Class A. Free throw for Merkley. He makes the second. For EPJ, they're also trying to flex that muscle of proving just how good the DAC-12 is. DAC-12 is trying to get several different teams in. You feel like there might be at least one obvious one of Dakota Valley. Nealon will shoot the three. This one is off the mark. Rebounded by Schmitz. A 3-point lead for the Mustangs. They have nursed this lead this entire second quarter. Bounce pass inside, and busy hands make busy work. Nealon with the steal. They've certainly eliminated the bounce pass in the lane. The Mustangs have. 1:08 second quarter, 3-point lead as Damian right now at the volleyball line. Just kind of letting the clock work. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Gets the instructions there from Coach Mark. Now I'll hand it off to Jackson. To the corner they go. Johnson step back three. This one misses everything. It's going to go out of bounds. And it will be a Husky basketball with EPJ a chance to tie. 48.9 remaining in this first half. Merkley will bring it into the front court. Across the Bulldog logo. Kicks it to Mr. Kemp. He'll shoot the deep three. This one off the heel of the iron, but it's going to be an offensive rebound. The Huskies, if they can find the quick shot, they'll go again. Merkley lets the defender jump on by. He'll shoot the three. Bingo! Garrett Merkley with that 11 points. And we're tied once again, 25-25. Waubay Summit led it by 8 entering this second quarter and are now trying to take back the lead. 4 seconds. Damian, the left-handed dribble, step back, kick to the top, deep three. This one off the side of the iron. And for EPJ, being down by 8 and seeing the Mustangs hit whatever shot, more specifically from downtown, that they wanted, they answer back beautifully and only allow the Mustangs to score 2 in that second quarter. In fact, outscore Waubay Summit EPJ does 10-2 as we head to halftime, 25-25. Our first half scoring and a look at what's happening in the SoDak 16 and what's to come is all on the way next here on Live Ticket TV. You put up 23 points in quarter number 1. You're feeling pretty good about what you're going to be able to do offensively. As coaches will always give kind of this cliche, if you will, you look at what you're on track to do. And coaches would probably say about 80 points that we can score offensively if we can keep this offensive trend going in the way we did in that first quarter. However, for the Waubay Summit Mustangs, as they look up right now at halftime and see 25, you would say a lot, maybe everything that could have went wrong in the second quarter did. Only 2 points for the Mustangs. And the Oak Point Jefferson Huskies on the opposite side, putting up 15 points in quarter number 1, you would say that's not too bad. That gets us on trend for right around 60 points. We're just going to need to step up defensively. They certainly had a little bit of help with missed shots from the Mustangs, but were able to crack down defensively and able to get those shots up 10 points in that second quarter. Let's take a look at our extended scoring for both Oak Point Jefferson and for the Waubay Summit Mustangs. First up for the Mustangs, leading the way, Damian Opdale has 9 points. He has been stuck at that point, though, since the first quarter. He did not score at all in the second quarter. After that, Jonathan Johnston hit 2 big 3-pointers in that first quarter. Again, did not score in the second. 4 points apiece for Jackson Wilbur and also Trevian Nealon. And then 2 points for Jared Prudy. Again, Nealon had the only points in that second quarter for the Mustangs. On the opposite side, for the Oak Point Jefferson Huskies, they were led away with Garrett Merkley, who had 11 points, including 8 of his 11 in the second quarter. Evan Fournier off the bench is the second leading scorer with 8 points. 4 points for Easton Kemp, and for just 2 points for Jacob Scarman. In fact, if you look at for the Huskies and what they're able to do offensively, you will notice maybe one thing. Chase has not scored, and maybe their size inside really hasn't gotten going either. As I mentioned, Evan with Easton Kemp, he's got 4 points, but all coming in the first quarter. And even for Evan, who has just 8 points, 6 of them in that first quarter, he got all those 6 points in quarter number 1 from mainly just outside of the lane. So they'll see if the Huskies can't get a little bit more going inside. The Mustangs will just need to find their shot a little bit more. We get set and ready to go for quarter number 3. This is the 8 seed Oak Point Jefferson, the 9 seed Waubay Summit. Again, for the Mustangs, looking to get back to another state tournament where they were a year ago, but on the Class B side. And on the opposite, the Huskies, it's been over a decade since they were last in a state tournament trying to help out the DAC-12. The DAC-12 trying to take 3 different teams into the state tournament. We're set and ready to go as we'll switch side. The Mustangs, and they're all black uniforms, numbers and letters that are in purple. As you can kind of see on the camera, that's basically impossible to distinguish between of that deep purple and black with numbers and letters that are outlined in white. Of course, EPJ in the all-white uniforms, numbers and letters that are in blue. Quick floater in the lane. The exact way you want to get scoring started if you're the Mustangs. That's Jackson Wilbur, who now has 6 points in the ball game. 27-25. Driving the lane, kick out to Easton Kemp. Now down to Chase. Chase almost had stolen away. He's being double teamed. Kick out to Schmitz. Straight away, decide not to pull the trigger. Now to Merkley. Merkley will pick up his dribble. Looking around, they get it over to Chase. Chase tries to swing it over to the opposite side, and it's stolen away by Damian. Now, I should say this as well. The Mustangs never surrendered their lead in the second quarter after leading by 8 to start the second. The Oak Point Jefferson Huskies always stayed really at arm's length. And now fake one way, go inside to Damian. And with that, he finally takes the lid off. He's got 11 points and a quick timeout from Coach Otkin. It's 29-25. A minute 8 into this third quarter. We're back in just a moment here on Live Ticket TV. Coach Otkin takes a swig of his energy drink as his team comes out of the timeout trying to find some offense. They let the Mustangs begin this third quarter on a 4-0 run after we were tied at halftime. Schmitz inside and is to get some points there as he just went up with his shot. Schmitz, his first bucket of the ball game. 29-27. And that was just Coach Otkin as well, calling a timeout to get his team settled and not letting the Mustangs really grab any momentum. Quick turnover. It's a 3-on-2. Bounce pass over to Merkley as the Mustangs get back defensively. Now it's controlled with Scarman. Drives in off the glass, and quickly the Huskies answer right back with their own 4-0 run. 29-29. Very foul-free as well in that first half, so we really don't need to worry about much foul trouble. Deep three. This one hit off the iron a couple different times, but did not fall through. Merkley then put both feet across the timeline. People went over and back just below us. That's certainly not correct. Inside spin. Chase uses the left hand. His first points. And already going inside are the Huskies. They're on a quick 6-0 run out of the timeout. And in a matter of 90 seconds, have a lead for the first time since halfway through the first quarter, but quickly answered right back. Jonathan Johnston, 8 points in the ball game, 31-31. Getting back to that high-octane offense that we saw in the first quarter. Jacob drives in, fumbles it right into the chest of a Mustang. And Waubay Summit is eventually able to come away with the orange. Damien gets it across the timeline, looks over to Coach Mark to get some instructions. Coach just paces up and down right in front of his bench. Top of the key, controlled with Johnston. They work it over to Purdy on the near side. Now back to Lindholm. To Damien. Decides not to put up any shot. Jackson will attack. Gets by his defender. Contact made. But how about the Jets of Jackson? Pump faked with the move over to his left and then attacked on the right side, and a foul was called. It is a shooting foul, so 2 free throws. By the way, the foul comes against Jacob Scarman, picking up his second personal and the first team foul. No player has more than 2 personal fouls for either team. First free throw is off the mark. And tied at 31 apiece. Free throws could be crucial. Chase will come out. Evan off the bench with 8 points will check back in. Also, Jacob Scarman is out, checking back in Alex. By the way, no substitution. Brady Lindholm is out, and Nealon is back in for the Mustangs. Second free throws, all of a sudden it gets loud for a moment. Both free throws are missed for the Mustangs. We'll see if that comes in later in the ball game, as the Mustangs have now missed 3 free throws. Trying to get some space, the big man inside, but his space cut off there. Now they get to Merkley. Merkley lost it for a moment. Oof. And Damien is going to pick up the ticky-tack foul. He saw the basketball loose, dove in for it, missed it, but Merkley just tripped over, and that's going to be called a foul each and every single time. And for Damien, nothing you can really do about that, picking up his second personal and the first team foul of this second half. Scarman works it over to Merkley. Merkley just holding it belt high. To the corner they go. Slaps the ball, and now Scarman trying to attack. He fumbled it for a moment. They want to travel. He never moved his feet. Good no call there by the officials. Evan underneath and easily off the glass. No one was tracking Alex Scarman, and he has his first points off the bench. And now we have seen 7 different scores for the Elk Point Jefferson Huskies. In fact, who's ever played tonight has scored. And they take back a 2-point lead, 33-31. Can the Mustangs answer back at the free throw line? Jumper. Jackson Wilbur, cool, calm, collected underneath pressure there. And we're tied once again. Now underneath to Kemp, the big man has his shot blocked away, but gets it back. His shot, no. They call a foul instead. Looked like he might have just had it blocked away cleanly. But in fact, they call the foul, on Damien. Now picking up his third personal, the second team foul And Coach Mark, he wants an explanation. There's no official right now next to him to give him more of an explanation. And now he's pointing fingers, saying, hey, can we get this on Nealon instead? And he's not going to get to go his way. First free throw is good there by Easton Kemp. His first point since the first quarter. Second free throw, this one's off the mark. The general of the offense will stay out there for the moment. He's picked up 3, and we'll see if EPJ really doesn't try to start attacking him offensively. See if he can't pick up a 4th or how honest he plays defensively. Speaking of Damien, still has it. Kicks it over to Johnston. Now underneath to Nealon. Lets 2 defenders jump on by, and then the scoop layup is good. 6 points off the bench for Nealon when they needed the size inside, and a timeout is called. 35-34, 3:01 third quarter. We're back in just a moment here on Live Ticket TV. 60 seconds here. Out of the timeout, both coaches have 3 remaining for the ball game. Foul trouble really not to talk about. 35-34. Well, we expect this between the 8 and 9 seeds, right? A chance to go on to the state tournament coming up next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Right now, Waubay Summit has a 1-point lead as the Huskies have the basketball as we're back under action. Chase kick at the top with Scarman to Merkley to Schmitz over in the coffin corner. Back to the top with Chase. Back over to Schmitz. He'll now attack baseline. Bounce pass inside. Evan up with the shot. Can't get it to go. Girls basketball team was up on their feet, ready to cheer and scream, hoop and holler. But the shot did not fall. 2 free throws nonetheless, but a way foul called on Nealon, picking up his first personal and 3rd team foul, and the first free throw is off the mark. So at best now, all that can happen for Evan is tied up. He's got 8 points here in the ball game, has yet to score though in this second half. Quickly, the second free throw, he got it from the official, didn't even bounce it. He just said, here we go, gets it to go. And we're tied once again, 35-35. It's been back and forth in this third quarter. It hasn't necessarily been back and forth here in the ball game. It was halfway through the first before Waubay Summit opened up and had the lead all the way until halftime. Quick wing 3 off the mark, and it's going to be rebounded by Merkley. But this third quarter, both teams went on spurts and runs, and then we've been just dicing it and slicing it back and forth. Merkley, speaking of slicing and dicing, he can't get his shot to go, but blew by 2 defenders. And it's rebounded by the Mustangs. Both coaches pace up and down, and now taking a squat is Coach Odkin. Coach Mark will work his way over to the free throw line extended. Damien has the basketball. Bounce pass to get it inside now. Turnaround jumper. This one a tough look that time for Johnston. He just had to know where his location was at on the court. 95 seconds remaining in the third quarter, and we're tied. Evan on the corner. He'll drive. Bounce pass inside. Oh, they let Alex Scarman open for just a moment. He now has 4 points in this third quarter, and it's back to a 2-point lead for EPJ, 37-35, 1:15 third quarter. Trying to direct traffic now is Johnson. They work it to Jackson. Jackson with Schmitz right in front of his face. Nealon tries to lay it down the screen. Now to Damien. Damien kick it back over to Jackson, who will shoot the deep three. This one will rattle around and off, and Chase finally comes up with it. Damien hits the hardwood. It's a disadvantage. The Huskies, oh my goodness. Evan rises up to heaven. I hope someone took a picture of that. He didn't quite slam dunk it, but he rose well above the rim to get the layup to go. With that, he gets double figures, 11 in the ball game, and it's up to a 4-point lead. In fact, this is the biggest lead for the Huskies of the ball game. And now Damien goes down, battling for the basketball. It goes out of bounds. Whistle is called. Eventually, it's going to be called against EPJ, and Chase Fournier will pick up his third personal, second team foul. Bodies hit the floor for sure. Everyone picks themselves up, and again, these officials have let it play out when there has been a loose basketball. Have to appreciate the consistency they've had all night long. 39-35. Mustangs, with the shot clock off, will hold for the last second shot to just draw it to a one-possession deficit. Again, the Mustangs put up 23 points in quarter number one. Since then, just 12 points. Damien still has it. Picks up his dribble, works over to Johnston with 5 seconds. Johnston, there was some chicken fighting in there, and they're going to call the foul on Alex Scarman, picking up his first personal, the third team foul. It was well before a shot. 5.1 remaining third quarter. 39-35. Trying to inbound, looking around, and finally get it in time. Step back, jumper, fadeaway is off the mark, and EPJ won't have a last second shot, but they will have a lead. 39-35 as we enter the fourth quarter. That comes up here in just a moment on Live Ticket TV. Here it is. All you need to hear is the fan base. Both fans on their feet as we begin the fourth quarter. 8 minutes separate the first ticket to the SoDak 16. Merkley opens up the fourth quarter with a three-pointer. Garrett Merkley, 14 points in the ball game. And the Elk Point Jefferson Huskies have their biggest lead of 7 to start this fourth quarter as the chant defense rings around a Madison High School gymnasium. Quick three by Damien off the heel of the iron. Can the Huskies deliver a knockout below to start this fourth quarter? Merkley at the volleyball line will work it over to Schmitz. Over the far coffin corner, Merkley will now drive in, put up the off-balance. Runner misses, but it's an offensive rebound. Back up is Easton Kemp. A quick timeout. EPJ in their white and blue rise to their feet. They now lead it by 9, 44-35, 7:07 remaining here in the ballgame. We're back in just 30 seconds here on Live Ticket TV. Mustang fan base rises back to their feet, trying to get their team back into it. As it's 7:07, fourth quarter, the Mustangs are facing their biggest deficit, but the way they shoot threes, they can get back into it at any moment. EPJ is trying to step up defensively and finish this one off. It's controlled with Johnston at the top of the key, working over Damian. Damian back over to Purdy. Now to Jackson. Jackson, kick out. Lindholm will shoot the three as he's squatted down. It's off the mark and rebounded by EPJ. If they want, they can take the air out of the ball, but they won't. It's Jacob Scarman using the right hand. With that, he has 8 points in the ball game. 11-point lead. EPJ starting to flex their muscle. Drive in, body hits the deck. A whistle is called. I say Easton Kemp stepped into it. He'll pick up his first personal, fourth team foul, as it was Brady Lindholm trying to drive in, and he got knocked to the ground. 46-35, 6:26 fourth quarter. Be the Mustangs basketball along the baseline. Jackson gets it quickly inside, up with a shot. Johnson's off the mark. Fight for the rebound, and it's going to be pulled down by the Huskies eventually. Quickly up to Scarman. Scarman will drive in. Contact made as he attacked Jonathan Johnston immediately. Not able to get the shot to go, but 2 free throws upcoming for Jacob, as he has 8 points in the ball game. And all this is for EPJ is adding more and more. Free throw is up and good. Jacob Scarman now with 9, 47-35. It's a quick 8-0 run. Make it a 9-0 run to start this fourth quarter for EPJ. Again, for the Mustangs, they put up 23 points in that first quarter, only 12 cents. A three-pointer off the front of the iron. Quickly, from end to end, off the glass, Jacob Scarman has taken over himself. 6 points in this fourth quarter. EPJ. The blue and white, who have made the journey, are on their feet. And this is a feeling that EPJ knows oh so well, of cheering their team on in the postseason. On the football side, they brought home a state title in Class B. As maybe one of the toughest regions, I should say the toughest region to get out of, EPJ needed a little bit of help. They went into the region tournament as the 3 seed. It seemed like it might be a road that went through lengths for the Huskies, but they got some help from the Vermilion Tanagers along the way, who upset number 2 Lennox, and then from there EPJ dominated the Tanagers. And then even here in this ball game, down by 8 after quarter number 1, they have allowed Waubay Summit to score just 12 cents. 50-35. This is the biggest lead that EPJ has had. After the timeout from Coach Mark, they have just 1 remaining. When I say they, I say Waubay Summit. And Damian, the general, going to try to take over himself. He wanted a foul, nothing called, and just threw it away. Scarman over to Evan. Evan picks up his dribble. Back out. Now Merkley will fake one way and make a last-second pass. Kemp was never ready for it. Merkley got himself in a bad situation. Husky still applying the tough defense, though. Quick catch and shoot 3. Johnston answers right back. And that will be one thing for the Mustangs. They're not quite out of it yet. Johnston with that hits double figures. He's got 11 points, 50-38, and the Mustangs starting to give the defense chance. Schmitz to Kemp. Wide open, Scarman will shoot the 3 off the front of the iron, and it's going to go out of bounds. Hanson Beavers, Sioux Falls Christian Chargers, game number 2 right here at Madison High School is coming up, and their fans are starting to see how much open space and open room they can find. They certainly want to dig in for a ball game that has been exciting. That game's supposed to tip off at 7 o'clock. It might happen a little after, but we'll have all the coverage right here on Live Ticket TV. Quick three-pointer. Damien was bumped. No foul called. Devin Schmitz, oh my goodness, one to go up to Easton Kemp. And if you're an EPJ fan at home, you're going, slow down. Slow down. We don't need to go quick here. Use 30 seconds of the shot clock. We're up by 12. Well, it's easy to shout at your TV, at your phone all you want. They don't hear you here in Madison. Johnson, a quick three-pointer. This one off the mark, but we have a foul that will go against EPJ before the shot ever came. They say more pushing and shoving. The second time that Chase Fournier has been called for a foul before a shot. Picking up his fourth. He will stay out there right now defensively. And now pass could be stolen away by the big man. Easton Kemp will go from end to end, but leaves his layup short. It's going to be rebounded offensively, and then a double dribble by Schmitz gives it right back to the Mustangs. This is where Waubay Summit has to put in their comeback. They have been gifted a couple different possessions. And now Damien, not being pressured, lets that roll across the timeline without the clock ever running, and answered back a quick three. Jonathan Johnston hits his fourth three of the ball game. He has 14, 50-41. Here come the Mustangs. Scarman will drive in, shot blocked away. Rebounded by Chase Fournier. Up, Easton Kemp misses. Fight for the rebound. The Mustangs come away with it. The Mustang fans rise to their feet once again. Johnson, catch and shoot three, leaves it just short. It's going to be an offensive rebound as it was batted out to Damien. He goes up through contact, leaves it short, but he'll be shooting 2 free throws. And just when it seemed like the towel was about to be thrown by the Mustang, the punch might have been the knockout one. The Waubay Summit Mustangs wobble, but stay on their feet and come swinging right back. And now force Coach Otkin into a timeout. We're back in just a moment here on Live Ticket TV. Damian Opdell will be attempting free throws out of this Coach Otkin timeout for EPJ. It is 2 free throws. He's able to hit the first one, and the Waubay Summit Mustangs draw it back even closer. 12 points now for Damien here in the ball game. Second free throw. It makes it a 7-point game. 50-43. EPJ does not have their ticket punched yet. The Mustangs are looking to make a steal for it. Merkley will have it for the Huskies. They'll try to take some air out of the ball as Merkley works it over to Scarman. 18 seconds on the shot clock. Work it back out to Evan, to Merkley as they'll reset offensively. Merkley will drive in. He tried to look for a no-look pass once again. Fight for the rebound, and a quick timeout is going to be used there. And with this, it will be the last timeout. We're back in 30 seconds here on Live Ticket TV. 50-43, 3:18 fourth quarter. Waubay Summit is still mounting their comeback. They were down by 15, 50-35. But they have answered on an 8-0 run, and that run continues on as they look to add more. It's Johnson who makes a far pass over Damien. He reaches down from heaven to grab it back. Catch and shoot three. Johnston! Third three of this fourth quarter. 17 for the ball game, and the Mustangs are within 4. 50-46. 2:51. Fourth quarter. Evan Fournier has it, makes the pass over to Scarman. Scarman trying to find some space, has to pick up his dribble. Back out to Merkley. Merkley will drive down to block, and it's a reach-in foul, as it was knocked away from behind, but had his arm slapped. The foul will go against Jonathan Johnston, picking up his second personal in the fourth team foul. 50-46, 2:38, fourth quarter. And it will be Merkley to inbound. Fournier to Schmitz. They get it back to Merkley. Merkley outside, three-pointer, good. Huge three that time for Jacob Scarman. As with Scarman, he now has 9 points in this fourth quarter, 15 for the ball game, 53-46. 2:15, fourth quarter, drive in, foul called, and a charge taken inside as Damien went up with his right hand. A foul is called against Damien, picking up his fourth personal, and still remains at a 7-point lead. 2:15, fourth quarter. Merkley will inbound the basketball, as the full court press is going to be on by the Waubay Summit Mustangs. Scarman, who gets it across the timeline, using the right hand, is able to get it back. They're going to hand it off now to Merkley. EPJ just trying to foul called. There's a little bit of selling going on there by Jackson as he laid into a screen and then fell over. The foul called against Evan Fournier, picking up his second personal. 17 foul, so bonus. And Waubay Summit will get it back. 1:53, fourth quarter. Jackson over to Damien. Quick three-pointer in the corner, rattles down and comes popping back out. Devin Schmitz couldn't quite corral the ball in. The drive in by Scarman and a reach-in foul against Jonathan Johnston. 2 free throws upcoming. That's the 7th team foul on Waubay Summit. Again, it is 2 free throws for Jacob Scarman, who has taken over in this fourth quarter. He had 6 coming into the quarter, now with 9, 15 for the ball game, and give him 10 points in this quarter. And he has gotten it done from inside the perimeter, from downtown, and now at the charity stripe. Back up to an 8-point lead with 100 seconds remaining. Second free throw, this one is off the mark. Waubay Summit needs to go, and they need to go in a hurry. It's Damien. Damien trying to get some space up against Merkley. Now over to Lindholm. They hand it back off to Damien. Damien Opdale, the no-look pass over to Johnston. He had his hand hit. He kind of leaned down into it as well to make sure he would get the call, but hey, whatever works. Certainly Evan had his hands up. It will be 3 free throws upcoming. Jonathan Johnston, 17 points, including 9 in this fourth quarter himself. First of 3 is up. It's off the heel. It remains an 8-point lead for EPJ, 54-46. Don't forget, we have game number 2 here at Madison High School between Sioux Falls Christian and Hanson coming up right after this one. It will be on a different link, but you can still find it right here on Live Ticket TV. Waubay Summit and Jonathan Johnston have missed 2 of the 3 free throws. The third one is good. With that, Johnston has 10 points in this quarter, 18 for the ball game. The press will be on for Waubay Summit, as they have no timeouts remaining either. So they have to do everything in a hurry. Quick inbound to Scarman, to Merkley, and a reach and foul will come along right into the scores table. The foul called on Jackson, picking up his second personal. It is the 8th team foul, so a 1-and-1 upcoming for Garrett Merkley, the best free throw shooter you could have for the Huskies. He's got 14 points in the ball game. 54-47. First free throw is up, and this one is good. So Merkley, all he can do is add more to this lead. That's back up to an 8-point lead. 55-47, 1:18 at fourth quarter. Second free throw, this one's off the heel of the iron. Waubay Summit needs to go, and they need to go now. Damian Opdale, top of the key, behind the back dribble. Now we'll put up the three-pointer. This one is off the mark. It's rebounded by Schmitz. Schmitz quickly up to Evan Fournier. Slam dunk to put the Elk Point Jefferson Huskies into the state tournament. A three-pointer is off the mark. Evan Fournier threw that one down with authority. EPJ can start to dribble it out here. Kemp gets it over to Scarman. And for the first time in 13 years, Elk Point Jefferson is going to the state tournament. Just like their football team on the Class B side, if you will. Now their basketball team is going to answer the bell and put themselves in the state tournament. For EPJ, if the celebration hasn't started, it can certainly begin now, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. If you haven't purchased your tickets yet, and if you haven't made your reservations yet, folks, start doing so. For Waubay Summit, it's going to come up one game short. Free throw on the 1-and-1 is off the mark. Denny Sanford Premier Center certainly going to be painted with blue and white. Off the bank, three-pointer, good for Damian. He now has 5 points in this fourth quarter, 16 for the ball game. Easily break the press. It's over to Merkley. He's going to bring it back out. Schmitz, and they're just going to give the quick foul, but with that, Damian Opdale will get his fifth, and he will foul. And the Waubay Summit Mustangs rise to their feet and pay this man, a senior, his respect. For the senior, it will fall a game short. He'll foul out, finish with 16 points in the ball game. He will make the long walk along the sideline. Free throw for Schmitz. Nealon will check in, and also more coming out of the ball game. Jonathan Johnson, another senior. Fighting back tears of his own. But for Elk Point Jefferson, this truly is something special for the town of Elk Point and Jefferson, as this has been one heck of a season, and it will continue on as they meet in the middle of the court. Hugs, high fives, smiles all around. Coach Jake Odkin joins with Zach Ronan and Adam Timmons. Big smiles on their faces. Elk Point Jefferson is moving on. The first ticket punched into the Class A state tournament belongs to the 8th seed, Elk Point Jefferson. Your final 58-50. And for the Waubay Summit Mustangs, 4 losses this season, and this one will hurt the most, but you can't say enough about the Mustangs. You can say so much when it comes to if they were in Class B. People have already said there was a good chance they would be a state tournament team. But making that jump up to Class A, they get oh so close, but fall one game short. For the Waubay Summit Mustangs, leading the way, Jonathan Johnson finishes with 17 points. Damian Opdale The other one in double figures with 16. Leading the way for the Elk Point Jefferson Huskies tonight, Jacob Scarman lights it up in the fourth quarter, finishes with 16 in the ball game. 15 points for Garrett Merkley as they give away the presentations and awards for the Elk Point Jefferson Huskies. Certainly is a great moment for Elk Point Jefferson as they are on to the state tournament. First ticket is punched in Class A. 58-50 is your final. That will do it for us here in game number 1 on Live Ticket TV, but we'll make the quick transition. And when we come back, it's game number 2 for us here on Madison Streaming and Live Ticket TV as it features the 3 seed, Sioux Falls Christian, taking on the 14 seed, the Hanson Beavers. That is on the way next on Live Ticket TV and Madison Streaming.
Easton Kim.
The linger of victory and the smell of anticipation are in the air. Welcome to Madison High School as we get you set for game number 2, if you will, here at Madison High School. As coming up and the second game of the evening, it is Hanson versus Sioux Falls Christian. A few more tickets are about to be punched into the state tournament. Now, if you're just tuning in, getting set for this broadcast, how about we back up just a little bit, as we just had one game that was right here at Madison High School. It was the 8 and 9 Elk Point Jefferson going up against Waubay Summit, and my goodness, did it prove to be a great game. Waubay Summit came out flying in that first quarter, outscoring EPJ by 8 and leading 23-15, and really were able to get it done from three-point land. But after that, Waubay Summit started to cool down, including just 2 points in the second quarter, and we found ourselves tied 25-25 at halftime. Now, EPJ and Waubay Summit traded punches back and forth in that third quarter, but the Huskies were able to take a slight advantage going into the fourth quarter, and from there they quickly exploded to at one point a 15-point lead, and what seemed all but over for Waubay Summit, they came storming right back themselves, 3 after 3, making it an interesting ball game. 50-46, but in the end, from that moment on, the Elk Point Jefferson Huskies able to get it done from the free throw line and melt out the clock, as EPJ Elk Point Jefferson able to punch their ticket onto the Class A state tournament, defeating Waubay Summit 58-50. It is officially the first ticket that has been punched, at least on the Class A side. Now it's time to punch another 6 tickets onto the state tournament. Yes, that's right. Only 7 teams will make it onto the state tournament tonight. One game will not be happening due to weather that is happening currently, I should say, on the north and I guess, well, out on the west side of the state. But nonetheless, we're certainly expecting a doozy of a second game. One team looking to get back to another state tournament, Sioux Falls Christian, taking on the Hanson Beavers. We'll take a look at how these two teams a moment, and also take a look at other scores on the Class B side of the SoDak 16, as a couple tickets have been punched down there and a couple more games that are currently underway. That is all on the way here in just a little bit on Live Ticket TV. the mayhem of March. Does it get much better than this? As we try to punch a few more tickets, at least one more here at Madison High School, on to the state tournament for Class A in boys basketball, as we get set for the game number 2 of the evening, if you will, here at Madison High School, as it features the Hanson Beavers taking on the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers. Let's take a look as we enter into this matchup. Sioux Falls Christian enters in as number 3, Hanson coming in as the 14 seed. How did we get to where we're at right now? Well, we have to go back to last Tuesday, where it was the 1 seed in Region 3, Sioux Falls Christian, that easily blew by the Garrettson Blue Dragons, 83-34. And then there was a lot of expectations. What were we going to see when it came to the final 4 teams in that Region 3? Because they were all DAC 12 teams. You thought West Central didn't have the best of season, but maybe could give a run to the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers. But the Chargers left absolutely no doubt about that, easily blowing by West Central, getting the win 71-46. There was that slight upset. The 3 Madison got the win over Del Rapids, that 2 seed, 67-60. That again was in the region, and of course from there Sioux Falls Christian and Madison have made it on to the SoDak 16. On the opposite side, for Hanson, they would need a little bit of an upset themselves if they wanted to get to this point. But we go all the way back to last Monday with 9 teams in Region 5A. It was Sanborn Central Woonsocket that beat Bonhomme beat Sanborn Central Woonsocket 71-59. From there, we were set up to, well, the 8 teams that remained, including Hanson played Wagner last Tuesday, and were able to get a marginal victory, 56-42. Also, the 2 seed Platte Geddes got the win over Chamberlain, which then set up that 2-3 matchup. And it was back and forth in that first half, but late in the third quarter and into the fourth quarter, Hanson was able to pull away from Platte Geddes, getting the victory 59-46. Also, the 1 seed in that region, Mount Vernon Plankinton, was able to beat Parkston by 21 points, which then, of course, sets us up for the SoDak 16, where Hanson was able to draw the 14 seed, and for Sioux Falls Christian, that 3 seed. Now, of course, it doesn't come down to necessarily what the state has with these teams. This was a Sioux Falls Christian Chargers team that, coming into tonight, was ranked according to the media number 2. And when you look at the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers, 18-4 entering tonight. But what makes their season so interesting, they've lost to Dakota Valley, who was number 1 in Class A. No surprise there. Number 1 Sioux Falls Jefferson in AA. And then, if you don't know a whole lot about the state of Iowa, Western Christian is pretty darn good. They were number 1 in their class as well, and then lost to a AA Yankton team. In fact, that was back-to-back losses for the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers before, at the time, according to the media, Sioux Valley was number 2. They took it to Sioux Valley, winning by 8, 71-63. And as we mentioned, the Chargers have been on that tear ever since. For the Hanson Beavers, entering into tonight, 15-7 overall, but they have been on a 4-game win streak of their own. In fact, their last loss comes against Chamberlain back on Tuesday, February 14th, if you will, Valentine's Day, a 5-point loss there, but even have to go back to the very 1st of February, where they lost to Mount Vernon Plankinton. In fact, they really haven't had bad losses yet so far this season, the Hanson Beavers. Maybe the one against Irene Wakanda, but even there, the Eagles were at the time, or I should say, the Eagles team made it to the SoDak 16, but yes, lost to a couple of Class B teams, but again, some teams that have made it to the SoDak 16, and certainly a couple more that are going to make it into the state tournament. So that's how these 2 teams have gotten here. But no doubt about it, Sioux Falls Christian, with what they're able to bring speed-wise, with size-wise, and just ultimately power, they are certainly not just the favorites here in this game, but they're favorites by a margin. The Beavers are looking to be making the upset tonight, get that upset bid, and make it on to a state tournament. They're getting a little bit of fan support as well, as both teams here at the moment marginal when it comes to the fans, especially with what we just saw between Elk Point, Jefferson, and Hanson. While we have a quick moment, or I should say, Oak Point Jefferson and Waubay Summit. While we have a moment, let's take a look at scores from the SoDak 16. In Class A, again, as we mentioned, EPJ beat Waubay Summit 58-50. That is the only game that has gone final as of right now. Now, a lot of people said if you want to see an upset when it comes to the SoDak 16, look no further than the Winter Hot Springs game. Right now, with 2 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, Hot Springs is beating Winter 43-38. We're going to keep an eye on that one here in the last couple of minutes there. Also, right now, halfway through the second quarter, Mount Vernon Plankinton leads over Pine Ridge 23-20. Majority of the rest of the games are about to tip off, including Dakota Valley, Miller, St. Sioux Valley and Groton, and also Hamlin and Madison. The only game that will not be happening tonight, St. Thomas More and McLaughlin. That's coming up on Thursday due to the weather. Quick look in Class B, as a couple tickets have also been punched into the state tournament. The 8 seed Castlewood got the win over the 9 seed Harding County 53-51. Also, it was the 3 seed DeSmit that beat the 14 seed Crazy Horse 89-54. So DeSmit and Castlewood are on to the state tournament on the Class B side of things. Right now, Aberdeen Christian leads it over Ipswich 44-32, and a foul 3 minutes in the fourth quarter there. Also, it's a 21-point lead halfway through the fourth quarter with the 1 seed Lower Rural dominating the 16 seed Irene Wakanda 61-40. Our starting 5 are on the way next here on Live Ticket TV as we get you set for the opening tap between Hanson and Sioux Falls Christian. That's on the way next on Live Ticket TV. Does it get much better than this? High school basketball into the beginning of March. A few more tickets on the line to punch to the state tournament. One in Class A belongs to Oak Point Jefferson. Another 6 will be punched in a matter of 2 hours. It's the second one here at Madison High School that's going to be awarded out. Is it going to be an upset tonight for the Hanson Beavers coming in as the 14 seed, or can the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers continue their dominance when it comes to making it to state tournaments? They're looking to make it back yet another year. Before we get to our starting 5, a quick update on scores that we're watching for maybe an upset. Right now, we're still paying attention to Hot Springs. They still lead it by 5 right now at the moment over Winter with under a minute remaining. We do have that game pulled up right here in front of us. We'll keep an eye on that over the next few minutes here to see if Hot Springs can get the upset. And again, we'll keep you up to date on other scores from across the state of South Dakota when it comes to the state tournaments. Again, Class A and Class B. A few more spots available to make it to the state tournament. All right, enough of a delay. It's time to get into our starting 5 for both the Hanson Beavers and the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers. First, let's meet the visiting team, the 14 seed, that is the Hanson Beavers. This is a very, very familiar starting five, a five that has been able to get done with, yes, some youth, but also have been able to get it done with the seniors. It includes number 1, Jackson Jardine. They look to him for a lot of their offense, the 6-foot senior guard. After that, it'll be number 2, Jay Slava, the 5'11 junior guard. Number 20, Sutton DeWald, the 5'10 sophomore guard. Number 23, Ethan Cheeseman, another key piece to this offense, the 6'3 senior forward. And finally, number 24, Hadley Wallace, the 5'10 senior forward for the Hanson Beavers, coached by Josh Oltmans, along with assistant coach Ray Slaba. Again, the Hanson Beavers, the 14 seed here in the SoDak 16, coming in 15-7. After that, it's the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers. If you follow the Chargers whatsoever, they need no introduction on what they have been able to do this season, along with Coach Mike Schutten, assistant coaches of Justin Shepard and Brian Wassener. The starting five is another familiar starting five that we have seen playing together all season long. It includes number 2, Tayton Snyder, the 6-foot senior guard. After that, it'll be number 3, Cole Snyder, the 6-foot sophomore guard. The brothers getting it done together. After that, it is the big piece of this offense, but can also dish it out nicely. Number 5, Ethan Bruns, the 6'6 senior forward. Then it'll be number 22, Griffin Goodberry, the big man inside with his length of 6'7, the sophomore forward. And finally, number 23, Britton Mulder, the 6'2 sophomore guard. The Sioux Falls Christian Chargers have reloaded for another year and have gotten it done more with, well, you could say their youth, but still experience to try to get to another state tournament. By the way, Hot Springs and Winter 43-41. Final 30 seconds in that ball game. Again, we'll get you a final score here in just a moment. The Hanson Beavers and their black and blue uniforms, numbers and letters that are in white. The Sioux Falls Christian Chargers in their traditional all-white uniforms, numbers and letters that are in blue. Along with our producer, Ryan Sell, I'm Heath Nimke. Good evening. We have our opening tidbits underway. It belongs to the Hanson Beavers, who can punch their ticket on to the state tournament. The Beavers will be looking to get it done with the upset. It's Cheeseman as he tries to find his way inside on the opening possession. It was fumbled for a moment, but the Beavers are able to get it back. Almost poked away this time, but still controlled with the Beavers. 14 seconds on the shot clock. It's back with Cheeseman, trying to get by Brunch. Cheeseman's going to make the pass over to the near side. It goes just above the head that time of Jackson Jardine and will go out of bounds. It will be a turnover. It will be Sioux Falls Christian basketball. The Chargers, of course, coming from the DAC 12. Already seen one DAC 12 team punch their ticket into the state tournament. They control now with Snyder. Over to the far wing, they get it with Mulder. Bruns, double team. They want to shut that man down early. Back to the top, Mulder. Now to Snyder over the corner. His space is cut off inside to Goodberry. Lets the defender jump on by and will finish it off at the rack. Griffin Goodberry, the first points of the ball game for the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers, and they lead 2-0 a minute into this first quarter. It will be trying to get into the front court now for the Hanson Beavers. Slaba will hand it off to DeWald. DeWald kicks it over to Cheeseman. Cheeseman, as they move it around the perimeter, back to Cheeseman. Cheeseman step back, lets Bruns jump up, and now will make the pass to the top of the key. Back over Jackson Jardine. 12 seconds on the shot clock. At the free throw line, jumper is good for Jackson Jardine, and it's his first points of the ball game. We're tied 2-2. Quickly into the front court, they get it with Mulder. With Bruns, kick it back to the top with Snyder. Snyder wants to go inside to Goodberry, but it's deflected and knocked away. Turnover. Beavers have the basketball with Cheeseman. Cheeseman quickly a far pass, and with a little bit of speed over to Jardine. With Slaba to DeWald. Back over to Jardine. Jardine drives in, but it's going to miss his shot, but the Beavers get it back. It did not strike iron, so it remains 15 seconds on the shot clock. Now with Cheeseman. Cheeseman, the right-handed dribble as he goes all the way down to block. His shot is partially blocked away by Goodberry. It's going to go out of bounds. They say last touch by the Hanson Beavers, and it will be Sioux Falls Christian basketball. 2-2, 5:57, first quarter, as it will be inbounded by the Chargers. It will be the sophomore who will bring it into the front court, Cole Snyder. Works it over now to Tayton. Again, this is a Chargers team that lost just 4 games, including 3 of their 4 losses against number 1 teams in either the state of South Dakota or state of Iowa. To the top they go. Three-pointer partially deflected. It's going to fall underneath and right into the hands of Cole Snyder, and he's able to lay it up for 2. 4-2, 5:30 as that three-pointer took a deflection on his way through. No one really saw where it went for either team, and all of a sudden it just fell down to Cole Snyder. And now a foul is going to be called inside as jostling for position. Looks like they're going to call the foul on Ethan Cheeseman. Cheeseman will pick up his first personal and the first team foul as he was going in position with Bruns inside the lane. 4-2, 5:21 first quarter, as it will be Snyder who will carry it across the Bulldog logo. Bounce pass as they get it to Mulder. Mulder on the wing, back to the top to Snyder. They work it from Snyder to Snyder. You can distinguish the two between a yellow and white shoes. Snyder, the three-pointer, this one is off the mark. It's going to be rebounded by the Beavers. What has been a low-scoring first 3 minutes here of the ball game. Make the pass as they have it. Now with Jardine. At the top of the key, Wallace. First time we've called his name tonight. Back over Jardine. Wide open corner three. Shoots it, but misses everything. And it's going to be pulled down. And it's Mulder who quickly brings it in the front court. Dribble behind the back to Snyder. Gets it over to his brother, the sophomore. He's already had 2 points in the ball game. Back down to Tayton in the lane. Kick out. Down to the Bruns on baseline. Bruns trying to get his way in possession and goes up with the hook shot. Good for Ethan Bruns. He has his first 2 points. 3 different scores for the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers, and they have their biggest lead, 6-2, 4:13 first quarter. Top of the key, right-handed dribble now by Slava. Kick out, Cheeseman, the deep three. This one is off the front of the iron. And Sioux Falls Christian Chargers can start to expand this 4-point lead. It's Snyder. Bounce pass to Bruns. He'll shoot the three. This one is off the mark. And it's rebound by Cheeseman. And the Beavers quickly answer the opposite way with speed off the glass. This one is to Wall. Hanson wasted no time in transition after the missed shot. 6-4, 3:40 first quarter. Over in the corner. It's controlled with Goodberry. Now to Bruns, standing at 6'6", trying to use that frame inside to Snyder, who is left wide open. And Cole Snyder quickly has 4 points in the first quarter for the Chargers. 8-4, 3:25 first quarter. Across the Bulldog logo, it's with Slava. Now they're going to hand it off to Cheeseman. They'll work it with the wall. Back to Cheeseman. Cheeseman, the baseline drive. Space was cut off, and they're going to have to reset at the top of the key. It's going to be Jardine. He'll drive into block. High off the glass. Can't get the go. Offensive rebound. Back to Jardine. Jumper for him. This one is off the mark, and this time it's rebounded by Goodberry. 8-4, 3 minutes first quarter. Goodberry has it top of the key. Over to Snyder. He'll shoot the three. This one off the heel of the iron, but it's going to be rebounded by Ethan Bruns, who got perfect position, and then no one stops him defensively as he just walks up into the glass and slaps it off for 2. 10-4, 2:49 first quarter. We're back in just a moment here on Live Ticket TV. Go 30 seconds here. We have an upset. Hot Springs, the 11th seed in the SoDak 16, has knocked off the Winter Warriors 47-43. Hot Springs has punched the second ticket into Class A. The Winter Warriors, who are ranked number 4 according to the media, will not be making it to this state tournament. 10-4 here, 2:49 first quarter. Great to have you along here on Mass and streaming in live ticket TV as the Beavers have now let the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers go on a quick 4-0 run, trying to find a little bit of offense. They have gotten buckets from DeWald and Jardine, but they want to get Cheeseman going, but a deep three. This one's off the mark, and it's going to be rebounded by Bruns. And that's something for Hanson. They cannot let Sioux Falls Christian Chargers pull away early in this ball game. They do. They can basically pack it up because the Chargers can put it away with their size underneath, and they can also step back and shoot the three anytime. Again, this is a Chargers team that looks a lot different from the team that made it to the state a year ago. Missed three-pointer, but it's going to be rebounded by Goodberry, staying at 6'7", just easily dominated inside, and now the runner, Gooder for Mulder there. It's the fourth different Charger to score, and up to an 8-point lead, 12-4, under 2 minutes remaining first quarter. The Beavers need a bucket, and we're going to get a travel instead. And for Hanson, they got to create some energy themselves. This isn't maybe a large crowd. You might expect a little bit bigger of a crowd for Hanson. It is certainly a little bit of a journey. Now, that being said, Sioux Falls Christian, they didn't travel quite as heavy either. It's Snyder who has it over in the corner. They work it to the top with Cole. They want to go down underneath to Goodberry, and there was some jostling for position. A hand reached in and a foul called. It will be against the Hanson Beavers, picking up their second team foul, and the first one that will go against Ben Wilbur, the 6'2 forward, picking up his first personal. They'll go deep on the inbound. Inside now to Bruns, turnaround jumper at the block. This one rims in and out, but it's an offensive rebound miss, but the second offensive rebound is put right back by Griffin Goodberry. It's quickly up to a 10-point lead, 14-4, quickly the opposite way. Able to get it to go is Jay Salaba. He wasted no time and just attacked the heart of the defense, but transition the opposite way. Foul is called, and it will be against Wilbur, who had the mismatch of trying to stop Bruns, and he will be shooting free throws, 2 of them, as that's now, again, the second personal on Wilbur and the third team foul. And here comes Ethan Bruns to shoot 2 free throws. 14-6, 122 first quarter. We'll keep you up to date on other scores of the SoDak 16 for both Class A and Class B here in just a moment. Again, the other game that's gone final in Class A that we saw here at Madison High School, Elk Point Jefferson beat Waubay Summit 58-50. Bruns misses his first free throw. Will have a second attempt, puts it up, and this one will fall through. He has 5 points in the ball game, and haven't made a lot of substitutions, but Coach Mike will use his second one there as Bruns will come out of the ball game. As again, Sioux Falls Christian will usually go about 2 deep into their bench, maybe 3 if foul trouble, but that is about it. Hanson Beavers have it along the far side with DeWalt. Back to the top with Jardine as he tries to get some space, but it was cut off. They now work it to the free throw line, extended near side underneath. Up with the shot, DeWalt. He can't get the goal. Rebounded by Mulder. Mulder quickly pressing into the front court. Over to Snyder. And to the corner they go. The drive, the low look pass. Back out to Mulder. Mulder will, at the free throw line, jumper, take it, gets it to go. Britt Mulder, 4 points for him. No one has more than 5. And again, that's Bruns for the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers. In fact, 3 different Chargers at 4 points right now. Their balanced scoring is taking it to the Hanson Beavers. They're up by 11. Now a quick turnover. Sioux Falls Christian can hold for the last second if they so choose. But right now they're running with speed, but Mulder is going to see the clock, and he's going to peel back out, and they will bleed this one out, at least with an 11-point lead after quarter number 1. They're trying to extend it as high to a 14. And still Mulder, as the official puts up the 10-second warning. But Mulder will now move, trying to get inside. No look pass, reverse layup. This one is good for Cole Snyder, who has 6. Hanson has no last second shot. 19-6. Sioux Falls Christian has taken it to the Hanson Beavers with balanced scoring. The second quarter is coming up here in just a moment on Live Ticket TV. What we expected, trying to knockout punch right away in that first quarter. And Sioux Falls Christian, maybe not quite the knockout punch, if you will, but I don't know, a 13-point lead. They're certainly feeling comfortable as they begin with the basketball as well. They get it underneath, and a last-second dish. Good assist there by Mulder, as it's Jude Van Donkersgood who gets his first points of the ball game. It's now the 5th Sioux Falls Christian Charger to score, 21-6, 7:28 second quarter. Hanson just looking for some type of offense. It's with Jardine. Jardine dribbling between the legs. To the top of the key they go. They try to work it over to the far side, but reach in, stolen away. Van Donkersgood, and last second catch up defensively, and it will be knocked out of balance. They will still say that it will be Sioux Falls Christian basketball, but they do have to give a lot of credit to Hanson Beavers. A nice catch-up defensively there by Hadley Wallace to come back and make sure it wasn't just an easy layup. I guess that was Bennett, 21-6. Inbound the basketball will be Bennett. Bounce pass as they get it to Van Donkersgood. Now inside. Oh, Snyder just too strong off the glass. Well, let's see if Hanson can't quickly trigger it the other way. Cheeseman, whoa, he got a ball right in front of his face. He wasn't quite ready for that one, but is able to collect. Cheeseman dribbling between the legs. Now we'll pick it up. They work it over to the near side with Wallace. To the corner. They want to go back down to Cheeseman, but he was never ready for the pass. Brunn steals it away easily, and across the timeline goes Mulder. To Snyder. Work it to Bennett. Bennett underneath to Snyder. Snyder had it slapped away. Now a jump ball is called, and it will be Beaver basketball. Nice job once again by Wallace, who is coming up defensively a couple different times already here in this second quarter. 21-6, already a 15-point lead in the second quarter. Now Hanson certainly is not out of it, but they certainly need to find some type of offense to get back into it, if you will. Cheeseman fakes the handoff, will make the pull-up jumper. This one is too strong off the glass and rebounded by Bruns. Snyder across the Bulldog logo over to Bruns. Bruns will drive in, kick out. To the top they go with Mulder. Try to get by his defender. Sid makes the pass over to Bennett. Bennett to Snyder. Snyder, the left-handed dribble. Bounce pass down to Bruns, supporting the green basketball shoes. Back out to Mulder. Jab step, and now make the pass. Bennett has it. Free throw line extended. He drives in. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Now down to 6 seconds. It's Bruns. Bounce pass back out. Deep NBA three. This one too strong. Didn't even strike iron there, but was able to hit the backboard. Nonetheless, here come the Beavers quickly the opposite way. Nice job, though, by Sioux Falls Christian Chargers to work a lot of this clock. And now a quick steal, but can't quite save himself from going out of bounds that time, was Van Donkersgood, and it will be Beaver basketball. 21-6, 5:44 second quarter. We have yet to see the Beavers score here in this second quarter. Sioux Falls Christian really hasn't laid much offense either, just 2 points. It's at the top of the key with the wall. They work it over to Jardine. Want to go underneath to Cheeseman. He's double-teamed immediately, but still in the lane battling for position, and a foul called, and it will be Wallace who will be heading to the free throw line. The foul is called against Van Donkersgood, picking up his first personal, and just the first team foul. In fact, we have not seen a whole lot of fouls called here in the ball game, a total of 4 so far. First free throw is off the left of the iron, and Wallace will get a second opportunity. He has yet to score. In fact, for Hanson, no one has scored more than 2 points. Jackson, Jardine, Slava, and DeWald, all with 2 points here in the ball game. The big man, Ethan Cheeseman, has yet to score. Second free throw, this one is good for Wallace, so he has his first point of the evening, the 4th different Beaver to score. But as I just mentioned, no one above 2. 21-7. It's down to Bruns. Bruns fade away off the front of the iron. Battle for the rebound. They say Bennett comes flying in. He's going to make some hand contact, and he will pick up the first of his 5 personal fouls, the second team foul. 21-7, 5:18 second quarter, and now we're going to see a couple of starters back out there. Griffin Goodberry and Cole Snyder will check back in. Mulder, a starter, will come out, and Bennett as well will come out of the basketball game. They bring it into the front court. This time with Slaba, who crosses over the Bulldog logo. Picks up his dribble, works it to Wallace. Wallace still in deep territory offensively. Playing the man-to-man defense. Don't want to let anything inside as they have it to Wallace. Now over to DeWald. Deep three, Slaba. This one rattles through. Chase Slaba has 5 points in the ball game. First three-pointer for the Hanson Beavers, 21-10. Again, they're certainly not dead in the water by any means, and they've only allowed the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers to put up just 2 points here in the second quarter. They're going to need a little bit more of that type of shooting, though. It's now with Snyder, the drive, give and go to Bruns, and Bruns goes up through contact, and 2 free throws upcoming, as it's now the 4th team foul against the Hanson Beavers, and the foul will come against Ethan Cheeseman, picking up now his 2nd personal. So 4 team fouls, but for the Hanson Beavers, 2 different players have both picked up 2 personals. Wilbur, the other, who has been sitting on the bench, he is a bench player as well. First free throw is good for Bruns with that. He now has 6 points in the ball game, 22-10, 4:36 second quarter. A second free throw, high arcing, is good for Bruns. He's got 7 in the ball game and is once again the leading scorer for the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers. 23-10, almost halfway through this second quarter. It's been a quick moving second. In fact, it's been just a quick moving first half. And now falling over a loose basketball. It's going to be picked back up by Wallace. He's double teamed by the Snyder brothers, but somehow gets away with it. Cheeseman misses his shot inside. Ball was ping-ponging around in there, but the Beavers come away with it. And now Slaba, the three-pointer, off the front of the iron, rebounded by Bruns. A good opportunity there for the Hanson Beavers, comes up dry. Quickly opposite way, Snyder, open three, takes it. Cole Snyder, 9 points in the ball game. 26-10, back up to a 16-point lead, which matches the biggest lead that Sioux Falls Christian Chargers have had here in the ball game. That's Wallace. Wallace just holding on to it, making the right-handed dribble, nothing doing. Slaba down to Cheeseman. Cheeseman, the fadeaway jumper. This one's off the mark, and it's rebounded by Bruns. Already his 5th rebound of the basketball game. Quickly across the timeline. They get it to Van Donkersgood. Underneath to Snyder. Back out to Van Donkersgood. To Cole Snyder they go now. Cole will drive in, off balance shot. He puts it up. Can't, of course, hit, but he is going to get 2 free throws upcoming as he's fouled. The foul will come against Wallace, picking up his first personal in the 5th team foul. And again, it will be Cole Snyder, the sophomore, trying to hit double figures first for the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers with 9 points here already in the ball game. First free throw, this one is good, and he has 10 points. By the way, the only upset we have seen so far, it was Hot Springs, the 11 seed, that beat the 6 seed winner 47-43. A lot of the other games currently ongoing, as a majority of them did start at 7 o'clock or just slightly after for this evening. Second free throw, this one is off the mark. But again, Cole Snyder, the first Charger to hit double figure with 10 points in the ball game. It's the biggest lead the Chargers have had, up by 17 here at the moment. 3:08 second quarter. A drive in the lane, no space there as they kick it back out. It's with DeWald inside, and it's going to be stolen away as they want to go to Wilbur trying to find some space, but nothing doing. Snyder now is going to try to dish out to Bennett. Ball takes the deflection, will go out of bounds. It will stay with Sioux Falls Christian. At halftime, by the way, number 1 Dakota Valley taking it to Miller, 51-25. No surprise there. And also, we'll give you a score on Mount Vernon here in just a moment. Bruns, contact made, and a foul called. And they do say it's a shooting foul, so 2 free throws upcoming for Bruns. And it will be the foul that will go against Slaba, picking up his first personal in the 6th team foul. So right now, with 4 minutes left in the third quarter, Mount Vernon Plankinton leads it over Pine Ridge 48-41. That's the 7-10 matchup. First free throw is off the mark for Ethan Bruns. Before that, he was a perfect, batting 1,000, but now 2 of 3 from the charity stripe. Cheeseman checks back into the ball game. 27-10, 2:50 second quarter. Second free throw is up, and this one will go through for Bruns. Otherwise, as we mentioned, a lot of games currently just halfway through progress. We'll bring you the full brackets for Class A and Class B coming up at halftime right here on Live Ticket TV and Mass and Streaming. And now, a little bit of hand shoving that time by Bruns. He'll pick up his first personal and the 3rd team foul against the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers. For the Chargers, no one has picked up more than 1. 28-10, 2:40 second quarter. It will be along the baseline, Chase Slaba to inbound. Just will go deep to Cheeseman. We'll have to chase it down with the right arm. Cheeseman has yet to score here in the ball game. Certainly need him for the Hanson Beavers. They won the go reverse layup. That was never going to work. Snyder cut that one off perfectly. Mulder quickly has it in the front court. Still Mulder in the lane. Gets by his defender. Silky smooth for Britton Mulder. He has 6 points here in the ball game. It's up to a 20-point lead. 30 to 10. 2:10 second quarter. Pull-up jumper. This one is good by Slava. Slava, the only spark offensively for the Hanson Beavers. He has 7 points. And it's an 18-point lead. Mulder trying to find some space in the lane. Kicks it back out now to Bennett. Bennett had it poked away, but it falls right into the hands of Snyder. Snyder up to the top with Bruns. They work it to the opposite wing. Now inside to Goodberry. Want to go back down underneath the Bruns. He somehow gets it back, kicks it back out to Snyder along the ground. Snyder drives in. He can't hit his shot, and Cheeseman wants to quickly run into the front court. Cheeseman thought about the straightaway three, gets it back, will now take it. Oh my goodness. Ethan Cheeseman needs himself just a free throw to gain some confidence. The straightaway three didn't even draw the iron. And he just has his hands on his knees, finally collects himself and claps his hands together. You certainly don't want to see that for Ethan Cheeseman. Such a great player for the senior. Whether win or loss, you want to have a big game and make your town proud. Certainly has done that, but would love to get some scoring going. Inside Mulder, last second dish to Bruns. He goes up strong, and Ethan Bruns with that now has 10 points in the ball game. 32-12, back up to a 20-point lead. Slava, the three-pointer is off the heel, rebounded by Bennett. Bennett will come across the Bulldog logo. Still Bennett picks up his dribble now to Snyder with under a minute left to play. Bruns gets it down to Goodberry. Goodberry slapped from behind, and it will be a foul. That will go against the Hanson Beavers, and Ben Wilbur will now be picking up his third personal, the 7th team foul. But again, this is a shooting foul, so Griffin Goodberry will be shooting 2 free throws. First free throw is up, and this one is good. 33-12, 55 seconds remaining here in this first half. Again, coming up at halftime, we'll have our first half statistics and also take a look at what we have going on for the SoDak 16 in both Class A and Class B. Second free throw, this one is good as well for Goodberry. He has 6 points in the ball game. Again, Chargers have 2 different players in double figures. 34-12, under a minute remaining in this first half. It's Jardine, the right-handed dribble. We'll kick it now over to Wallace. Free throw line extended. Three-pointer for Slava. The quick three-pointer is off the mark, but it's going to be an offensive rebound as it was tipped around to Cheeseman. Step back three. Come on. This one off the mark. Ball ping-pongs around. It's going to be out of bounds as it goes off the foot of Wallace and will be with Sioux Falls Christian Chargers with under 30 seconds remaining in this first half. And for Sioux Falls Christian, all they have to do is just, if they want, add to this lead and just work out this clock and take a very marginal lead into the halftime locker room. Again, after quarter number 1, it was 19-6. Hanson, well, you can say they've been consistent, 6 points so far in each quarter. It will be Snyder who will bring it into the front court. Across the Bulldog logo. Works it to Mulder. And again, for Sioux Falls Christian, all they will have to do is bleed out this clock the final few seconds, take a last-second shot, and just see if they can add to this lead. 34-12, final 11 seconds. It's Snyder at the Bulldog logo. Will make his move underneath. Alley-oop! It's to Ethan Bruns, who slams it home. The alley-oop drawn up to perfection. And Tate Snyder gives a big fist bump to the student section as they go running off the court. 36-12 as we head to halftime. It's nothing but Sioux Falls Christian here at halftime, 36-12. Well, quick update, Ethan Bruns now with that alley-oop slam dunk, 12 points for him. He leads the way for the Chargers. A look at the first half scoring and also a look at what's happening in the SoDak 16. For Class A and Class B, that's on the way next here on Live Ticket TV. Well, if you follow the DAC 12 whatsoever, this certainly is no surprise. And for Sioux Falls Christian, when it comes to their season so far, only 4 losses, including 3 against the number 1 team in either South Dakota or Iowa. Their only other loss coming up against the AA team of Yankton. Sioux Falls Christian looking to get back to another state tournament just like they do year in and year out. Looks like they are well on their way, led by 2 different Chargers in double figures, led by Ethan Bruns with 12 points. 10 points for Cole Snyder, otherwise 6 points apiece for Griffin Goodberry and also Britton Mulder. Jude Van Donker's good, has 2 points in that second quarter. In fact, Tayton Snyder has had 3 assists here in the ball game, but has yet to score. But he has certainly been busy in helping out offensively for the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers. For the Hanson Beavers on the opposite side, it is all Jay Slava. He's got 7 points, otherwise 2 points for Sutton DeWald and 2 points for Jackson Jardine, and a free throw for Hadley Wallace. Again, after quarter number 1, it was 19-6, a 13-point lead for Sioux Falls Christian, and they've only expanded this lead. They're looking to get a running clock as we head into the second half. By the way, Ethan Cheeseman has yet to score here in the ball game for the Hanson Beavers. We'll see if he can't get himself going a little bit more in that second half. Another quick timeout here on Live Ticket TV. When we come back, we take a look at what's going on in the SoDak 16 for Class A and Class B. That's on the way next on Live Ticket TV. (36-12) right now at halftime. It's been all the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers as the Hanson Beavers emerge from the locker room. They're just trying to find some offense, and for the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers, all they have to do is keep pouring it on. Again, 2 already in double figures for the Chargers, including leading the charge. Ethan Bruns has 12 points, followed by Cole Snyder. The sophomore has 10 points already in the ballgame. All right, let's take a look at our action so far in the SoDak 16 games that are currently going on. But first, we talk about games that have gone final here at Madison High School. We had it earlier for you right here on Live Ticket TV. Elk Point Jefferson beat Waubay Summit 58-50. In other games that went final, the upset 11 seed Hot Springs beat Winter. The 11 over the 6, 47-43 was the final there. In other games currently going on, first we begin with the games that are close to being over. Mount Vernon Plankinton is beating Pine Ridge 67-54. Other games also right now at halftime, 51-25. Dakota Valley beating Miller. And now we check in the game starting the third quarter. Sioux Valley is beating Groton area 43-35. Also, Hamlin, 2 minutes into the third quarter, is beating the 12 seed Madison 41-34. And don't forget, you can find all these games courtesy of Live Ticket TV as we have coverage for you across the state of South Dakota when it comes to SoDak 16 for Class A and Class B. Let's continue on. Down to Class B we go with games that have gone final. So far, there really haven't been any upsets to speak of. The 1 seed, Lower Rural, is on as they beat Irene Wakanda 72-50. Also, Aberdeen Christian beats Ipswich 51-34. That's the 2 over 15. And the 3 seed, the Smith, beats the 14 seed Crazy Horse 89-54. The 4 seed Faith and the 13 seed Northwestern will not play tonight due to weather. Also, one other game final in Class B in the SoDak 16. The 8 seed Castlewood beat the 9 seed Hardington County 53-51. Games that are currently going on. The latest one at the moment, it's Wessington Springs that leads it by 3 with 5 minutes left in the third quarter, 33-30. Also, right now, with under 3 minutes left in the second, it's number 5, White River, that's beating 12, Howard, 30-22. And also getting close to the end of the first quarter, it's Ethan, the 7 seed, that's beating Gregory, the 10 seed, that's beating Ethan 13-7. But again, that one's in the closing stages of the first quarter. We're set and ready to go for the second half here between the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers and the Hanson Beavers. Both teams will come out in their starting 5 for the Beavers of Jardine Slava, DeWald, Cheeseman, and Wallace. For the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers, the Snyders, Bruns, along with Goodberry and Mulder will take the court. As again, all the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers are looking to do at this moment, not only punch their ticket onto the state tournament, but see if they can't even get a running clock going, as they currently lead by 24 to start the second half. It's going to be a quick turnover, though, as they want to go down inside to Bruns. On the opposite side for the Hanson Beavers, it's not necessarily focused on the comeback here at the moment. It's just focused on getting their offense going. 6 points in that first quarter, 6 points in the second quarter. They move it around the perimeter as it's controlled with now Slaba. Slaba at the free throw line jumper is off the heel of the iron, rebounded by Bruns, and as the shot was up, a foul is called. And they will say that it will go against Cole Snyder on the reach-in. So picking up his first personal, and it will be free throws upcoming for Slaba. The first free throw is up and good. Slaba, again, the leading scorer for the Hanson Beavers. He had 7 in that first half, now give him 8 points for the ball game as he's able to hit the first free throw. The second free throw, this one, is off the heel of the iron and rebounded by Snyder. Snyder will bring it across the Bulldog logo. Kick it over now as they have it. Free throw line extended far side. Down along baselines, it's Bruns. Kick it back to the top with Mulder. Mulder will make his move. Kick out to Snyder, who's in double figures himself with 10 points. Still Snyder. He attacks all the way and gets it to go. Cole Snyder has scored in all quarters now. He's got 12 for the ball game. It's up to a 25-point lead for the Chargers. Wide open 3. This one is off the mark. Ball is kind of off a few different hands that was just all surprised. It was Sutton DeWald who missed the 3. Speaking of DeWald, he has it. Free throw line jumper good. Sutton DeWald, his first points since the first quarter. He has 4 points for the ball game. 38-15, 6:41, third quarter. Down to Bruns. Bruns gets underneath to Mulder. Mulder fakes one way, goes up second way, and is able to get the go. No foul call, but nonetheless, Britton doesn't need it. He has 8 points here in the ball game, 40-15. Again, 25-point lead. The Beavers can't get away from that mark. DeWald over to Slaba. Back to DeWald. Now with Cheeseman. Cheeseman has yet to score in the ball game. Drive. Space cut off as he drew the double team. Back to Cheeseman in the coffin corner. Cheeseman, the left-hand dribble, spins now. Baseline. Still Cheeseman underneath, trying to get his way through the trees, but it's deflected away by Goodberry. And here comes Mulder into the front court. Still Mulder. Pick up dribble to Bruns. Bruns will shoot the three. This one rims in and out, and it's going to be rebounded by Slaba. Slaba quickly pressing tempo. It's going to be stolen away by Snyder. Snyder charges in and lays it off the glass. Cole Snyder with 14 points. 42-15. 5:42 third quarter. It's Cheeseman. As they get it back over to Slaba. Slaba inside to Wallace. Kick out to now DeWald. Pull-up jumper for him. This one is off the mark, and it's going to be rebounded by Sioux Falls Christian. Still Snyder across the Bulldog logo once again here at Madison High School. We meet as much as we can halfway in between for these two teams. It favors slightly to the higher seed, or I should say lower seed, if you will, depending on the way you look at number-wise. Sioux Falls Christian coming in at number 3. Three-pointers off the front of the iron. Rebounded by Snyder. He quickly presses. It's the other Snyder, the senior, if you will. Now to Mulder. Mulder trying to fight his way in, back out to Tayton. Tayton will drive, kick out to his brother. Cole will shoot the three. This one is off the mark. It takes a couple different looks off the rim. It's going to be a reverse layup. This one doesn't go. Bruns gets back his own rebound, and it's just dominating the glass right now. Sioux Falls Christian Chargers, as they now lead it by 29, 44-15, 4:35, third quarter. And it's controlled by Slaba. Free throw line extended, using the left-handed dribble as they work it to Cheeseman. Hanson Beavers just trying to find some sort of offense. Kick back out, it's DeWald. DeWald, the drive, the floater, can't get the go, but is never rebounded cleanly by Goodberry. Wallace gets it back. He misses two different opportunities, and this isn't maybe good defense by the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers, but just tough shooting for the Hanson Beavers. They couldn't get it to above 30 in the running clock from Snyder to Snyder, as Cole left it too strong off the glass. But now he will steal it away. Cole Snyder quickly the opposite direction, off the glass. And with that, we get ourselves the running clock. Cole Snyder with 16 points in the ball game, 46-15, 3:45 third quarter. The drive in by Jardine. This one way too strong off the glass. And it's just quick cherry picking the opposite way. Snyder going the opposite way again. 8 points for him in this third quarter. 18 for the ball game, 48-15, 3:30 third quarter, and now a timeout call for the Hanson Beavers. Welcome to DAC 12 basketball. If you've never seen it before, this is what the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers do game in and game out. We're back in just a moment here on Live Ticket TV. (48-15), 3:28 third quarter as we're back underway for the Hanson Beavers, who have struggled offensively and in transition basketball, getting it done here in the third quarter, if you will, for the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers as they've expanded this lead above 30. We're now going to see a running clock, and let's be honest, it's been running basically this entire third quarter. In fact, we've only seen one foul call. We've seen as many fouls as we have timeouts. Alley-oop, they won the go to Bronze as it sails above his head. They've already knocked in one of those alley-oops, but again, this one will go out of bounds. and the Hanson Beavers will quickly get it back into play. By the way, with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, Mount Vernon Plankinton is starting to pull away from Pine Ridge, 72-61. Now a handoff, no, stole away by Bennett. Bennett looks around and off the glass. The bench rose to their feet thinking Ethan Bruns was going to slam it home. He decides not to, just lays off the glass. He's got 16 points, 50-15. Baseline drive, pick up, dribble, kick out. Three-pointer for DeWall. This one is off the heel of the iron and rebounded by Bruns. Quickly, Snyder into the front court. Snyder wasting no time, hands it off to Bruns, who will attack, and a whistle called. This is very, very rare to see. Just the second foul called of the second half. It will be, in fact, the first against the Hanson Beavers as well. It is a shooting foul, and will go against Wallace, picking up his second personal. Another three by Pine Ridge, but again, Mount Vernon still holding a double-digit lead here at the moment. We'll bring you final scores from these games throughout the rest of this third and fourth quarter. First free throw is off the mark, by the way, for Bruns. A couple substitutions for the Hanson Beavers. Second free throw for Bruns. Puts this one up and gets it to go. Bruns will come out of the basketball game. He has 17. And by the way, Dakota Valley, number 1 seed, is starting to open it up against Miller as well as they start the fourth quarter in Harrisburg, 77-35. 2:01 third quarter. It's controlled inside the lane, and then a reach and foul that will go against Bennett. Again, with a 30-plus point margin right now, the clock doesn't stop for the foul. Bennett picks up his second personal, the second team foul, and this one clock will just keep on rolling down. Beavers inbound to get to Jardine. Jardine inside to Cheeseman, who has yet to score in the ball game. Cheeseman, spin around jumper for him, and this one is good. Ethan Cheeseman, his first points of the ball game. 51-17. It's at the top of the key. Trying to make his way in. Van Donker's good to Snyder. Now with Bennett. Bennett, no-look pass over to the corner. Three-pointer, good. This one, Jude Van Donker's good. He has 5 points in the ball game, 54-17, 1:10 third quarter. Quick three the opposite direction. This one's off the mark, and it's going to be rebounded as Inbers will drive quickly off to Bennett. This one off the mark, and it's going to be rebounded as the Chargers have a little bit of their second team right now on the court. Not fully their second court. Cheeseman drives and will able to finish off the glass. 54-19, under a minute remaining here in the third quarter. It's controlled with Bennett. Along the wing now with Carson. Straight away three. This one rattles off the mark for Whitty. Rebounded by the Beavers as quickly Salaba in the front court. Dish out over to Cheeseman. Cheeseman jab steps. Now shoots the three off the heel of the iron, and it's going to be rebounded. But Van Donkersgood just throws it up, and somehow it's able to get to Carson. Over to Snyder. Catch and shoot three for him. Good. Tayton Snyder, his first points of the ball game. 57-19. Under 5 seconds. The drive by Salaba is good. Chase Salaba with that hits double figures. He has 10 points. Snyder, the half-court heave, nowhere close. 57-21 as we head to the fourth quarter. That comes up in just a moment here on Live Ticket TV. 57-21 as we begin the fourth quarter. The Beavers will have it as they open up in the front court. But the second team out there right now for the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers. For the Hanson Beavers, they have a little bit of their second team out there as well, just giving some of the starters a little bit of resting time. Down at the block, trying to get Cheeseman inside. Cheeseman, though, can't miss right there at the bucket. Quick transition, opposite way up to Bennett. He throws off the glass and gets it to fall. Bennett, his first points of the ball game. 59-21. Slava gets his defender to jump in the air, but did not shoot wide. Bennett was in the air, missed, but it's an offensive rebound as the Beavers will reset offensively. It's with Jardine. Jardine uses the right to left-hand dribble, but no, it's going to be stolen away by Bennett, who just going to let everyone run on by him. And they get it over now to Braden Whitty. Whitty to Van Donker's good. Van Donker's good, drives in, kicks out now to Carson. Carson will take the jumper off the heel of the iron, and it's going to be rebounded by Wilbur. The Cheeseman, and Cheeseman, the senior, across and into the front court. Dish last second. Wallace lets the defender jump on by, and it's going to be Wallace. 3 points for him in the ball game. 59-23, 6:42, fourth quarter. We'll bring you scores from the SoDak 16 here in just a moment, as it's Goodberry who has it for the Chargers. The top, they get it this time now with Munson. Three-pointer for Bennett, and he rattles this one in. Bennett Wassenaar now has 5 points all in this fourth quarter, 62-23, as it's up to now a 39-point lead for the Hanson Beavers. Cheeseman drives in, and he draws the contact, and free throws are upcoming. We'll let you watch these free throws as we take a look at scores and other games going on with under a minute remaining. Mount Vernon Plankinton has pulled away. They are going to punch their ticket onto the state tournament. They're going to beat Pine Ridge right now. Score there 79-63. Cheeseman misses the first free throw. In other action with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, Hamlin starting to pull away from Madison, 62-39. Also, Sioux Valley beating Grote in area 55-43 as they start the fourth quarter there. We'll keep an eye on that one. A little bit of an interesting score as the second free throw is good for Cheeseman. Quickly, Bennett, the reverse layup, trying to get it to go, can't do so. 62-24. Beavers quickly opposite way. Jardine off the glass and good for two. Jackson Jardine, his first point since the first quarter. He has 4 points. 62-26. 5:47. Quick three-pointer for Van Donker's good. This one is off the mark, but it's going to be tipped, and they get it back over to Whitty. He'll shoot the three. This one is off the mark. Fight for the rebound, and this is Bennett just playing tough. Picks up his third team foul. Gotta love the hustle, gotta love the effort. Now for Sioux Falls Christian, they haven't had every guy who's dressed yet this evening get a chance to play, but they're certainly going to have that moment coming up here in just a little bit. 62-26, 5:20 fourth quarter. As it's Jardine who gets it across the timeline over to Cheeseman. He'll shoot the three. This one is good. Ethan Cheeseman, his first three of the ball game, 8 points for him now. 62-29, 5 minutes remaining here in this fourth quarter. They drive by Bennett, dish over, three-pointer, wide open. Carson can't get this one to go, but it's an offensive rebound. Whitty misses, and finally the Beavers pull it down. It's a 3-on-2, but this one's right to the Chargers. And quickly, the Chargers using from speed to speed. The shot blocked away by Cheeseman, and both teams just kind of playing back and forth basketball, but now the Beavers slow it down. Cheeseman dribbling between the legs, spin, shot, maybe took some contact there, nothing called. They want to go quickly opposite way, stolen away by DeWald. DeWald in the front court over Cheeseman, catch and shoot three for him. This one is off the mark. It's going to be punched up, and a foul that will go against DeWald, picking up his first personal in the second team foul. Again, not a foul score yet for Mount Vernon Plankinton, but they are about to get to that moment. We'll take a look here at Class B for just a moment as some interesting scores. They're all kind of pulling away at the moment. Maybe the only close one to start the fourth quarter. Viber Curley has made a comeback against Wessington Springs. They lead it by 7, 44-37. And now a three-pointer, and this one is good for Cameron Schock as he has his first points of the ball game, 65-29. And DeWald kick out, over to the near side as it's Hernandez. Three-pointer, this one off the mark for Wilbur, and it's going to be rebounded by the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers. Start of the third quarter, White River leads it by 12, 38-26. Also, Gregory leading it by 4 over Ethan with under a minute remaining before halftime. 67-29, another bucket for Sioux Falls Christian. They've never gotten it to 40 or above. It's DeWald at the elbow. Kick out three-pointer. This one misses everything. Ball is going to be safe from going out of bounds, but it goes right to Sioux Falls Christian. Quickly into the front court now as the Chargers get more and more guys out there. That's Van Beek who gets his name called this evening. They get it back to Carson. Down inside to Whitty. Whitty the fadeaway jumper. This one in and out. And it's going to be rebounded by DeWald. 67-29. 2:40 fourth quarter. Catch, shoot, three. Why not take it, young man? This one is off the mark, though, that time for Wilbur. And it will be Sioux Falls Christian Chargers into the front court. The drive underneath. The shot. This one off the mark for Van Beek. And quickly Hanson into inaction. Slava drives in, uses the left hand, and gets it to go. Slava with 12 points here in the ball game. The leading scorer for the Hanson Beavers, 67-31, 2:11 fourth quarter. This certainly has been well in hand a long time ago. Inside, off the glass, and good for Van Beek. He has his first 2 points in the ball game, and now anyone who dressed tonight is getting their chance to play for the Hanson Beavers. They will also check off their seniors as well. Congratulations to plenty of them out there, including Jackson Jardine. Also, shout out to Ethan Cheeseman and Hadley Wallace, all seniors, a part of this Hanson Beavers basketball squad. Again, this is a Beavers basketball team that has also made that jump up to Class A, a team that could certainly be vying for a spot in the state tournament, Class B, but they just ran into the buzzsaw of Sioux Falls Christian this evening. For Sioux Falls Christian, they're making their final substitutions for guys that have not gotten their chance to play, with now under 100 seconds remaining in the ball game, 69-31. Coming up here in just a moment, we'll give you the final scoring for the key role players and also take a look at the final scores. Don't forget, if you'd like to go catch a game yet that's currently underway, you can go find it on the stations of Live Ticket TV, as we've had all the games covered for this evening. Now, the official state tournament is not going to be set for this evening for either Class A or Class B, as both Class A and Class B have had a game called off for tonight due to the weather. 69-31, under 60 seconds. This is just some fun time for the reserves out there at the moment. Inside, spin around, up with a shot, foul call. Then it will be free throws, as heading to the free throw line will be Carson Nichols, the freshman. Like I said, there's 3 games currently underway. 4 tickets have been punched on the Class B side. 3 games also underway on the Class A, including finally Mount Vernon Plankinton went final, beating Pine Ridge 82-66. Also, Dakota Valley beats Miller 94-41. 70-31, 46 seconds remaining. Nichols is able to hit the free throw, as he's able to hit them both, and it's finally up to that 40-point lead. First time that the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers have gotten to that mark. Top of the key, Beavers trying to find some space. Over to the near side, driving in this time now is DeWald, and it's going to be stolen away. Sioux Falls Christian quickly the opposite way, up off the glass, and good for 2. That is Lincoln Prinz, the sophomore. 73-31, under 20 seconds remaining here in this fourth quarter. It doesn't matter the time. These guys are going to have some fun with the second team. At the block, pick up, dribble, turnaround jumper. This one is off the mark. Basketball is loose, fighting for the rebound, and the Chargers are able to come away with it. And this will take away the final few seconds. The Sioux Falls Christian Chargers, what has been well in hand for some time, is finally official. They're dancing once again, and they won't have to go far, as they have punched their ticket onto the Denny Sanford Premier Center coming up next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, as they defeat the Hanson Beavers tonight 73-31. Well, before we wrap it up here on Live Ticket TV, Cole Snyder leads the way. He finishes with 18 points for the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers. Followed right behind him by Ethan Bruns with 17 points this evening. They are the only two Chargers to hit double figures. For the Hanson Beavers, they only have one that hits double figures, 12 points for Jace Salaba. And while we have a chance, all games have gone final except for one on the Class A side of things. But it looks like Sioux Valley is starting to pull away. All right, other 6 tickets that have been punched to the state tournament. Number 1, Dakota Valley beats number 16, Miller, 94-41. Again, St. Thomas More, McLaughlin did not play tonight due to weather. They'll be playing 7 o'clock coming up on Thursday. As we just mentioned, number 3, Sioux Falls Christian wins 73-31 over Hanson. Number 5, Hamlin is on to the state tournament as they defeat Madison 66-41. The only upset so far, 11, Hot Springs beats number 6, Winter 47-43. Number 7, Mount Vernon Plankinton beats number 10, Pine Ridge 82-66. And earlier, Elk Point Jefferson, the 8 seed, beat the 9 seed, Waubay Summit 58-50. On the Class B side of things, a few games that are still ongoing, but another 4 that have gone final. One game that did not happen due to the weather on the Class B side of things. Number 4, Faith, did not play number 13, Northwestern. That is coming up at 7 o'clock as well on Thursday. And if the weather's not good on Thursday, they'll play on Friday. Otherwise, really no upsets to speak of. Number 1, Lower Brule blows by number 16, Irene Wakanda, 72-50. Number 2, Aberdeen Christian beats number 15, Ipswich, 51-34. DeSmit takes care of Crazy Horse, 89-54. And the 8 seed, Castlewood, beats the 9 seed, Hartington County, 53-51. Right now, in the 4th quarter, it's an 8-point lead for Viborg Hurley, the 6 seed, over the 11 seed, Wessington Springs. With 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, White River leads it by 8, 46-38 over number 12, Howard. And finally, at halftime, number 10, Gregory, leads it over Ethan, 22-18. These final 4 games that continue on, you can step aside and just click on Live Ticket TV right there below your screen, and you can find all the action that is currently going on. Otherwise, for Ryan Sell, I'm Heath Nimke. Game number 1, EPJ defeats Waubay Summit 58-50. And in game number 2, it is all Sioux Falls Christian as they beat Hanson 73-31. Thanks again for tuning in to Live Ticket TV. For Ryan, I'm Heath Nimke. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your evening.